Good morning, everyone. I hope everybody is doing well. Again, once more, I say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. And more importantly, I say blue morning to you because it is, in fact, the blue morning show. We have quite a few stuff to talk about today. We will talk about Thomas Tuchel's comment on the rebuild of the team. He said something about that in his press conference. And we will also talk about N'Golo Kante's future, talk about Callum Hudson-Odoi future, and compare him with Ousmane Dembele, and discuss whether we should even be looking at Ousmane Dembele since we have Callum Hudson-Odoi at the club. Again, there are a few stuff that we'll talk about, but we will take them one by one. More importantly, as usual, I will first of all look at what we have in the comment and say hello to everybody there. First, we have Liam Lane. He says, good morning to you, Liam. And today I have made you a moderator. I hope you've seen that because you supported this channel so much. I think you deserve to be a moderator. You're always on time too. And here, this is my comment saying blue morning to Liam. And again, we have, he says, Liam says, 10 years ago today was the greatest night ever with our famous win in Munich. I will never forget that. I will never forget that either. And I have to say, what stood out for me on that day was the performance of one of Chelsea's most underrated players in the person of John Mikaelobi. Let me know if you remember how well he did on that day. He silenced Bayern Munich's biggest names. And again, I must not forget John Mikaelobi's performance on that day and that Mossa. And also, why it stood out for me was that he was still is one of Chelsea's most underrated players. And here I have Phantom saying, driving now home by 4 a.m. Let me know if you want to join the panel, but I'll share, if I get a chance, I'll share the link with you anyway. Here is Gabriel Omar Obas. Let's go. Yes, let's go, Gabriel. That's the way I like it. And Gabriel, and everybody in the chat, wherever you're watching from, if you haven't, please do take a second and like the video, because the truth is, the more you like the video, the more it gets pushed to people who would be interested in this particular topic, and we will have more people here to enjoy together. And the Blue Morning Show, it's always one of the best Chelsea shows in the community because it is objective and we discuss things as they happen. And I'm happy to say that I have my brother Tobago on the panel. Tobago, how are you doing, brother?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Brilliant. I can't complain. Always good to have you. I was reading this comments here by what's his name, Lamb, that says 10 years ago today was the greatest night ever with our famous win in Munich. I will never forget it. What do you remember, or that? Do you remember that date quite well still?
Yes, I remember it just like yesterday. I remember that equalizer
Mm-hmm.
from Didier Drogba. I remember Peter Cech
Mm-hmm.
saved a penalty in the extra time. Also,
Mm-hmm.
I remember Didier
A
Drogba.
penalty caused by Didier Drogba himself. But go ahead.
Yes, I remember the penalty shootout. Uh, I'll be back to you just now.
Yeah, yeah, it was a day that that Munich 2012 is a date that every Chelsea fan will never forget because that was when we won our first UEFA Champions League, and boy, it was really brilliant, and I will never forget that date myself. I watched the game from start to finish. I was sitting on the edge of my seat, but then again, it's a day I will never forget. I'm driving. Okay, I've read that also. Let's go. Yes, let's go. Hello, my friends, and hello, my brother Ankit from Almighty Blues FC and also Almighty Sports Plus. If you haven't, please do make sure to go check out this channel and also subscribe. You can make this account of mine as a mod too, bro. Yes, I will do that in a bit. Again, we have hello, good morning, and good morning to you too. Yes, Kachila, thank you. No, more thanks to you for all the support that I get from you. I cannot thank you enough. Yeah, whenever you get home, I will send you the link, brother. It says, here's Tobago saying good morning, blue morning. And here is, hit the like button, people, and subscribe to the channel. And that is from my brother, Tobago also. Please do that so that we can reach more people. And here, Galabet Jump Mikalobi is the most uncelebrated. Yes, that's another way to phrase it. And I love that. By the way, it's not just the most that's the most underrated. He's also the most uncelebrated. His performance in Munich in 2012 is something that I will never forget. And if you ask me, I'd say he was actually one of the reasons why, one of the main reasons why we were able to win, because he did some great job, in stifling the Bayern Munich's big name. And Sheila says, "Good morning to you, everyone. Looks like you're back on YouTube. Nice to see you there, brother. Thank you, Almighty Sports." And yeah, I will come back to you, big up. If you haven't, again, I'm repeating myself, do make sure to like the video. We already have 16 likes. I think we're doing well today. Let's shoot for 100 likes plus before the show ends, and I know we can do that. Again, like I said before, today we have quite a lot of stuff to talk about. Tuchel talked about, since he said that something like too many players will be leaving the club. And in that sense, will be a rebuild, and it will be a rebuild. It will not just be yeah. Again, I think we've talked about that on this show also. That since we already have about 4 defenders leaving, and there's a chance we'll lose some players from the midfield area and in the attacking area because they're all not happy. So which means we'll be losing around 7, 8, 9 players, which means whether we like it or not, it is a rebuild. So we must indeed take that opportunity, call it a rebuild, and do as such so that we have a better team next season. But the question is, how will that affect our performance next season? Tobago, I don't know if you're still there with me. If you are, do let me know, brother.
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry about it.
No worries, brother. No apologies at all. Needed. So, Tobago, let me ask you this question. You heard Thomas Tuchel's comment, and I think he's correct. And I think on the show here, we also talked about it. The fact that a lot of players will be leaving, that it's become a rebuild, whether we like it or not. And if we make too many changes, even more than 5 changes, it's clear we could argue we're in a transition period. Your thoughts, how do you think that will affect the performance of Chelsea Football Club come next season?
To be honest, I think it might affect us slightly due to we're going to lose Aspilicueta, an experienced player, a captain. Also, Rudiger is a key
Mm-hmm.
player into our team, also into Chelsea's system. So, but anyway, it's a good thing that we are having the new owners that start on a clean slate, and then we're going to rebuild because it's so important to rebuild after like we're going to lose so many players. So
Mm-hmm.
what I liked about Tuchel yesterday, he said, "I'll be here." I was so happy about that. So
And
the new owners,
go ahead, go ahead.
hopefully the new owners will buy him players that he wants that will fit into how we want to improve Chelsea, or if you want to change a system to a back four or which
Mm-hmm.
system we don't know. They should just back the coach because like now some of the fans after maybe losing games they were saying Tuchel out and stuff, but we all know Tuchel didn't have a power last season to buy his players. So
Mm-hmm.
this is a good time for the new owners to show Tuchel that you know what, guy, we're going to back you. We're going to make Chelsea successful under your name. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully the ownership will get through anytime soon, and then we can start planning, coach.
Here's why I'm surprised at your comment. You said changing that many players will affect us slightly. I don't think it will be slightly. I think it will affect us a lot. If we change 4 defenders, if in the end, because Cesar Spilicueta is not certain yet, as Thomas Tuchel said in his press conference, Cesar Spilicueta is still torn between going to Barcelona and staying at Chelsea. If he leaves, Rudiger is on his way out. Andreas Christensen is on his way out, and Marcos Alonso is on his way out. So that will be 5 defenders, and we'll be making 5 changes in that area. And here's something I've always talked about, told people, argued with people regarding the defensive the department of a team is that is the most difficult area to put together. They say, yes, putting the team together is like a puzzle, but if you dismantle a defensive area, it takes a while to find a set of defenders that complement each other. For instance, what makes our current defense perfect is that is the mixture of aggression, the mixture of calmness, the mixture of players who that is speed. You know, we have Thiago Silva, who is the most calm on the ball, and no matter how quick you are, you cannot outrun him because you wouldn't even get a chance to do so. And he's actually the most intelligent, if you ask me. And then we have had Andres Christensen, who's also calm on the ball. But then we have Antonio Rudiger, who's aggressive. He can run with the ball. He can eat up spaces whenever the slightest of spaces he finds on the pitch. And again, if you bring he's one of the reasons why you could argue opposition defenders dread up playing against Chelsea Football Club. So now that isn't easy to find. But let me give you an example. If you look at Manchester United defense, they're struggling because they're all ball-playing defenders. You don't get aggression from them. You don't get a fight from them, really, except when you have Bailey on the pitch. Your thoughts on what I just said, Tobago?
Yes, coach. I agree with you 100%. But
Yeah.
about losing Christensen, to be honest, from my side, I won't be mad because Christensen have lot of mistakes, but he's a good player. But when he's under pressure, he makes a lot of mistakes, and then we end up losing that game or during that game. So losing Christensen for me is not an issue, but losing Azpilicueta and Rudiger is an issue for me because Azpilicueta is a captain. He knows the team in and out. So also about Rudiger, is a leader also, so and aggression. So we're losing 2 key players there. I'm going to be back just now.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I've argued that it's not going to only affect us slightly. I think maybe because Tuchel is such a good manager, we will not feel it that much. But the fact is, it will affect us quite a lot because you need the player to develop chemistry to start playing as a unit, and you could argue that takes time. It's not something you snap your finger, or when players are trained just a few weeks, it happens. And because we're also a big club, that's a chance we'll still have a lot of players in our squad, and then the players will not get to play more games together so that they would develop chemistry quicker than the current team has done. So that's why I'm saying it's not going to be that simple, really. It's not going to be that simple redeveloping the team. And again, let's talk about this. Actually, we haven't talked about that in a while. But the truth is, Tobago, I'm going to go through the chat and then I'll come back here so that we talk about the player I want us to talk about exactly. And I want us to talk about Kepa Arrizabalaga because it doesn't seem like we recognize that he may well leave the club. But let me go through the chat first. Good morning to you at Chelsea Perspective, says Adrian Wafula. How are you doing, Adrian? I hope you're good. And it looks like this is your first time here. If that's the case, please do make sure to like the video. We have 22 people watching. We have just 16 likes. The more likes we get, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and more people will join us and we can have more fun. So if you haven't, please be sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We love a rebuild. A rebuild is necessary, but I think it's something what we have to be strategic about and and systematic about, if you prefer. The truth is, I don't think it is something Thomas Tuchel wanted to do, but I think his hands is being forced. Yes, he would have nonetheless made some changes here and there to get the team to play the way he wants his teams to play. But the truth is, the changes will be drastic right now, given the exodus of players. I think that's the best way to phrase it. When Drogba scored that penalty, I passed out. I didn't know how to celebrate. Yep, it was a great day indeed. And I think, Galabet, I think this is the first day I've seen you here also. Please, wherever you're watching from, be sure to like the video to help us reach more people, because the more you like it, the more we get more people to join us here. And if we get to 100 plus people watching, we'll do another giveaway for $50. Colin Empok says, good morning, guys. We were supposed to improve our team by adding quality, not to rebuild. That was Tucker's thought. Man City do improve. They always add quality to improve, i.e., Holland. Yeah, I get your argument, but in this case, Tucker's comment, he says he was referencing the fact that so many players will be leaving the club. So eventually, the club will be forced to start a rebuild and not more like a fix, because it's gone beyond a fix. And also, we'll be losing Kepa Arrizabalaga. I think that is something that may well happen. I can't say for certain right now, but looking at the situation, given these points that I'm going to discuss with you, first of all, he's a Spanish international, and he wants to be starting game. And we're in a World Cup year, and without playing games, he will not get the chance. He will not be called up for the Spanish national team assignment for the World Cup. I think he'd be looking to be starting game more often, and I don't think that would happen at Chelsea Football Club, because Thomas Tuchel has shown that I don't know if I'd be right to say Thomas Tuchel has shown that he doesn't trust him. I don't know if it would be best to say maybe Thomas Tuchel just prefers Edouard Mendy over Kepa Arrizabalaga. That doesn't mean he's not a fine goalkeeper. He's a good goalkeeper. He's a good sweeper keeper. He's also good on the board, and he's a shot stopper too. But unfortunately for him, Thomas Tuchel favors Edouard Mendy over him for some reason. But my point is, I think Chelsea will need another goalkeeper. But the question remains, what goalkeeper should the club be looking at? Because I know Thomas Tuchel himself knows there are also good goalkeepers, some of which may be better than Edouard Mendy, but who is out there? And if you're in the chat, let me know if you know of any goalkeeper you think the club should be looking at. Right now, I cannot think of any. I don't think Calvin Trapp, who played they played in the Europa Cup final yesterday. He did quite good, and in previous games that I've seen him play, I think he looked good, but I don't think he's good enough for Chelsea Football Club. Again, let me know. Again, we've established that's a big chance Kepa Arrizabalaga leaves Chelsea Football Club. And more importantly, he has suitors from Italy. I think his former manager in Maurizio Sarri is looking at him, and there are also rumors Juventus could be looking at him, and so he doesn't lack suitors. And there's been talk that Newcastle United were looking at him. So there's a huge chance that he leaves the club, because he wants to be starting games. And as a Spanish international, he wants a call up to the national team for the World Cup. Plus, it is a World Cup year. Now, let me continue reading. Morning to you. Blue morning to you, El Suleiman. How are you doing? And also, I did ask a question. If you're in the chat, let me know if you know of any other goalkeeper that Chelsea should be looking at, given the fact that Kepa Arrizabalaga may leave the club. And we know that's the truth. And here we have, says, A. Solomon suggests Nate Baxter is really a good young goalkeeper that we have out on loan. We don't need to buy. Again, do you think we need a goalkeeper that Thomas Tuchel would trust in the event that Edouard Mendy gets injured? Then you can confidently say we have a goalkeeper, a good replacement that you can be confident would do a good enough job. But again, you never know. We'll be here for now. Okay, I understand, brother. Getting busy. I knew you were possibly at work, and bills don't pay themselves. So I don't have a problem with that at all. Let me take. I know Baxter is a good goalkeeper. Yeah, how good is he on the ball? I haven't watched him that much to know how good he is. If you know how good he is, do let me know. Right now, again, people, we have 31 people watching, and we still have about 18 likes. I think we can do better than that. Come on, people, let's all shoot. Let's shoot for 100 likes today. Yesterday we had 140 likes, and yesterday we got around 70 plus new subscribers. We can do that today. The more you like the video, the more the Google algorithm will push it to more people that will be interested in this particular topic, and the more it will be fun for all of us. Let me see here. This comment by Nizel Kinsella, I think it's a current news that I think you guys will be interested in. And I want to say thank you to Tobago for providing us that news. One second, we have quite, like I said, we have quite a lot of stuff to talk about today, and we will get to them one by one. Tobago, thank you again for sharing these. And in the chat, he says Nathan Baxter is a good goalkeeper. I'd have to research him to see how good he is. Hit the like button, people, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Please do that to help us reach more people and to help the channel grow. The more you like the video, the more we will be able to reach more people. Now, looking at what Tobago shared with me, it says that the directors were added to Chelsea's new corporate structure last night. Egali paid and Feliciano are all part of Clear Lake. So the question remains: are these guys are well acquainted in the art of football and how football clubs are run? Are these just being added there because Clear Lake wants to bring their own people in? That's a question that we must answer. It says, let me click this to see the picture of very well. Appointment of Bedhad Egali as a director on 18th May. Appointment of James Pade as a director on 18th May. Appointment of Mark Walker as a director on 18th May. Appointment of Jose Feliciano as a director on 18th May. And appointment of Hunjak Weiss as a director on 18th May. So these directors, what I want to know is, what are their specific roles? That's something I would like to know. And again, are they football people, or are they just being added because they've been part of the Clear Lake team or so? So I'm not sure. I want to be sure that anybody who gets added to the board understands how football is run. So now I have here, they made a mistake. It's Mark Walter. He says, okay, Nathan Baxter has 7 clean sheets in 16 games in the championship. And I want to ask, I've seen another great supporter of the channel in the chat, in the person of True Blue, and I want to ask him about Nathan Baxter. I think he already said something. Nathan Baxter has been mostly championship. We have not promoted a youth keeper, to my recollection, since Steve Francis in the 80s. So what do you think Nathan Baxter will be a good addition to the team should Kepa Arrizabalaga leave the club? I think we need an experienced goalkeeper. We need to have good world-class goalkeepers and at least respect them. But again, I honestly do not want to start talking about Thomas Tuchel's handling of the selection of our current goalkeepers. I think he's done badly in that aspect. He hasn't done well to me. I think he's treated one as like a god and treated one like nonsense, which doesn't help his confidence. So that's where I am really concerned. So now I'm not sure if Nathan Baxter will be good enough. That in the sense that if Edouard Mendy gets injured, he can come in and do a good enough job. Again, I think we should be looking for a world-class goalkeeper. And like I've argued, the reason being that I am concerned that Kepa Arrizabalaga, I think I can correctly say, will most definitely leave Chelsea goalkeeper for obvious reasons. One, he's a Spanish international. 2, he's been treated badly under Thomas Tuchel. He's a professional and will pretend as if nothing is wrong. But beyond that, we all know that he's not been treated well. But that's, by the way, let me go through the chat and see if there's anything to address that. This is Just Viola. Big up to you, Just Viola. Nice to see you here, Queen of the House. I hope you're better today. You know, we love you here. Is Bruce Buck gone? Sorry, Bruce Buck isn't gone from what I've learned. I think he's staying. And I heard also that he's made quite some money from the sale of the club. They say him and Marina will be sharing $50 million. Again, I'm not sure how truthful that is, but the point is Bruce Buck is still there. I was hoping he leaves the club. But I want Marina to stay. Marina is the reason why we made a profits in previous years. She's a good negotiator, a shrewd negotiator, if you prefer. Again, but I'll go through the chat and also come back to what we're talking about already. So Bruce Buck isn't gone. Yeah, yuck. Yeah, waste. That was what came to mind when I saw that. I never wanted him to come anything close to the directors, but I think he has to because he's putting in so much money. Yeah, excuse me. I needed the water before I lose my voice. Just want to say hello, everyone. And also, Buckoff. Yeah, Buckoff indeed, but unfortunately that would not happen. And it happens that he's an American and the new owners are Americans. And I think they would trust the job he's done for Chelsea. But it's not been all that bad. And again, if you haven't, please be sure to like the video. We have 34 people watching, but just 23 likes. We should get it up to at least 30 likes. Come on, people, we can do that. And you are all a brilliant bunch. And thank you for all the support. I cannot thank you enough. We are on the road to 2K subscribers. We're right now at 1,404 subscribers. Hopefully at the end of the day, we'll get up to 100 subscribers. But by the way, we need to get up to 100 likes so that we'll be able to reach more people. So if you haven't, do take a second to like the video so that the Google algorithm will be triggered and the stream will be pushed to more people who would be interested in this particular topic. And again, if we have up to 100 people plus watching, just like we did yesterday, we'll do another giveaway for $50. Yet, Hi Tobago says, Behadi Igali is a best soccer fan. Tobago, can you explain what you're saying there so I can understand? Smash the like button, people, says Just Viola, the Queen of the House. Thank you. Please do what she says. How are you, Just Viola? I know she's fine. I'm okay. Brilliant. We have been linked as interested in Baka Neto in any talks for Alonso and Aspi. And do you think it's a good idea? I don't know him that much. You let me know. You seem to know him. If it will be a good idea, I think. Thank goodness Alonso will not be living on a free. So if Baka wants him, it's either they pay up the amount we're asking for him, or they we do an exchange with a part player, cash player exchange. I think that would be a good business for us. But I'm sure maybe let's see what happens. I hope that's the case. Bruce Buck and Marina have been 247 for 5 days a week. I read hence that the bonuses. So that's quite some bonus. 15 million sharing 50 million is quite some bonus. It should be noted that there is another African Cup of Nations in 2023, straight after the World Cup, which means Mendy will not be available. So the goalkeeping department is an important department that we must take care of indeed. So I'm not sure what the plans are because all the talks has been defenders. And the truth is, yes, we do need defenders because we'll be losing almost 5 of them, or let's say at least 4 of them. So we do need reinforcements in that area. But in the goalkeeping area, True Blue just made a good point here. We do need reinforcements in that area. And again, if we're done, we will be in serious trouble when Mendy leaves and we haven't made a proper, replacement there. So I'm not sure what to say. Again, hopefully they have a plan. And then, again, it's scary to even think about us losing Eduardo Mendy. Sorry, let me look at something here. I think somebody sent me a message here. Okay, I haven't seen it. Losing Edouard Mendy without having a strong hand to step in for him when he leaves for the African Cup of Nations in 2023. So that's a huge concern for me too. I mean, he's a soccer fan. That means he loves. I know, I understand that, but I was thinking you were talking about a player. I mean, they've been working. They've been working a bit for 50 million for how a month or so. Again, that's a crazy play. Personally, I could never trust a Bruce Buck, and I would be happy if he left. I think that's the truth. I wouldn't trust him either, and it's proven that I think what happened during the early days of the sales process when he gave the Ricketts family a tour at the bridge and arranged not let me not say not even say a tour when he arranged a meeting with the Ricketts family and what's the name of the guy in charge, you know, arranged a meeting with one of the guys in charge of diversity or something like that, and he also sat through the meeting while other groups vying or to purchase the club didn't get the chance to do the same until later on, a few days after it became clear that what he did wasn't nice. So, but that's, by the way, again, I wouldn't trust him either. So we need a backup goalkeeper too if Kepa is leaving. I wouldn't say backup goalkeeper and Josh Viola, I'm going to say shame on you for using that language. We've tried to refrain from using that language, but you're doing so right now. I don't think we should be saying we need another world-class goalkeeper. So to step in when Mendy leaves in 2023, and I don't think leaves for Africa in 2023, and I don't think Kepa Arrizabalaga will accept staying and waiting for Mendy to leave. So he steps in between the sticks, and then when Mendy comes back, he's gets relegated to the bench again. So we need a goalkeeper, and no goalkeeper has come to mind. I don't think Atletico Madrid will be willing to sell what's his name, Jan Oblak. And for Oblak, I don't think he's that good on the ball for me. Maybe we'll be looking at PSG. They have two world-class goalkeepers, and I think one of them, you could argue, will not be happy. They still have the former Real Madrid goalkeeper, and they still have the Italian international goalkeeper, two world-class good goalkeepers, if you ask me. So I'm going to go through the chat again, and please, I'm appealing to you. We have just 26 likes, while we have about 37 people watching, so we should have more likes. And remember, if we have 100 people plus watching today, we will do another giveaway for $50. If you haven't, like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Kepa is not giving Mendy any competition at all. We should try getting a good goalkeeper to push him perform excellently. Okay, Collins Ampon, can you tell me why you think it is like that? I think that Kepa isn't giving Mendy any competition. It's Thomas Tuchel's fault. It's not Kepa Arrizabalaga. It's not Kepa brilliant form actually under Thomas Tuchel, and he's actually done better than Mendy under Thomas Tuchel. But you could argue, yeah, because Mendy has played more games than he did. But that's by the way. But whenever Kepa has played under Thomas Tuchel, he's been brilliant. He's done quite well. He's the reason why we even got to the Carabao Cup final. He was the reason why we got to the Club World Cup final, but eventually got relegated to the bench because of Mendy is available. So he's been treated so poorly. So I don't think he'll be happy about it. He's a Spanish international, for Christ's sake. First of all, he was the goalkeeper that he led us to the finals of the Club World Cup. And Mendy, who's been away for and in his absence, Kepa Arrizabalaga did quite well. The moment Mendy returned, Kepa got relegated to the bench, and it seemed as if that wasn't enough. We were thinking, okay, he was going to be between the sticks for us in the Carabao Cup final, and he got relegated to the bench also on that day. So he's not been treated fairly. So I wouldn't say it wasn't his fault that he's not given. It's not his fault that he's not given Eduardo Mendy enough competition. If you want, it is the manager's fault who's treated Mendy as a god and treated Kepa Arrizabalaga as nonsense, and that doesn't help the case. So Mendy subconsciously will be feeling like his play, that is, won't be feeling any push to do even a better. For his own good, he needs a goalkeeper that's as good as him or maybe better than him so that he improves. Because right now, I don't think he'll be improving because Thomas Tuchel hasn't shown that he has a competition in the person of Kepa Arrizabalaga, who's also a good goalkeeper. Tobago says that Baxa will be a good keeper for us. Maybe I don't know if do you think it'd be good enough? And True Blue has mentioned, Baxter has already been goalkeeper in the championship and hasn't done anything in the Premier League, so it would be a huge risk to rely on the youngster when Mendy leaves in 2023 for AFCON. Do you think he'd be strong enough to guide the sticks properly for us? That's a question you need to answer yourself. Here we have Nankia Mary. I would suggest Nick Pope if Burnley gets relegated. Do you guys? I think that's a good suggestion. But the guys in the chat, how do you see Nick Pope? Because as you talk about goalkeepers for Chelsea Football Club, you must also talk about goalkeepers that are good with their feet, because we like to play out from the back. Is Nick Pope, is he good on the ball? That's one question you have to ask. And again, Nankia Mary, I think this is the first time you're here and you sound like you're an African sister. If you haven't, please make sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Let's shoot for 100 likes today. And remember, the more you like the video, the Google algorithm will be triggered and the stream will be pushed to more people. And we have more than enough people here to make the whole conversation fun. And also, again, do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Hit the like button, says Tobago. Please do so. Gabriel Omoba says, hopefully Tuchel, or a proper sporting director, is allowed to handle the rebuild of our club needs. We cannot have a hit and a miss transfer season if we are to close the gap and challenge for the titles. That is very important. That is just a brilliant comment. And I think I'm going to highlight this one and come back to it in a bit. If we're really planning to rebuild, we must be strategic. And I think Tuchel will have a say. He'll have, I think, the final say in whatever player we decide to sign. I don't think the club would just go out and start signing players without consulting Thomas Tuchel or the new sporting director, like you've mentioned, or even I think even Petr Cech will have a say in the process. We need to be strategic about our signings and not just spend money because we have money. I think that's a brilliant comment there, and I do like it. Nick Pope with Burnley is a fine goalkeeper. Tell me, what do you think about his ability on the ball? Because I think to Thomas Tuchel, that's important. That's an important attribute that goalkeepers he work with must have. And yes, people, I must applaud you. You guys are doing a brilliant job. You guys are all legends. Already we have 30 likes. Let's shoot for 200 likes today. And that's a brilliant. And again, hopefully we have up to 100 people so that I can fulfill my promise of doing a giveaway today if we have up to 100 people. So you guys, thank you again. You guys are all absolute legends. Thank you. Thank you so much for 30 likes. And if you haven't already, again, please do make sure to like the video so that we can reach more people, so that we can have more people here while we have some fun. Again, the more you like it, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered, and the more people will have participate in the conversation. So tell me, Lam Lane, if you think Nick Pope is a brilliant goalkeeper, you let me know. Kilo Navas, he will gladly leave a PSG. He will. Yeah, I think he may be willing to leave if Chelsea comes calling. And did he actually work? Did he work under Thomas Tuchel? Remind me. Has he been signed before Thomas Tuchel left PSG? I do not recall. Please do let me know if you're in the chat. When PSG signed, who was the manager when PSG signed Kilo Navas? So if he's worked under Thomas Tuchel, I think he will be a brilliant signing for us. I think we may be able to get him. Again, I hope that will be the case. Viola, how much is Navas earning? We're not sure. I think it'd be glad to know because we must be considering salary also. I think Tobago make a brilliant point there. As we look at our potential signings, we should also be looking at how much they earn currently. Because when players switch clubs, they look to earn more money than they're currently earning. So you make a good point there. He says, I don't know Tobago, but Donnarumma insulted him, and it was all over the news. Wow. Well, so that may well be an opportunity for us to pounce on the crisis and try to sign him. I think he will be willing to come to Chelsea Football Club, and it will be even easier if he's worked on the Thomas Tuchel. I understand Viola, but I don't want players with huge wages. We all don't want that. It's going to be a huge issue. Yeah, I get your point, Tobago. Yeah, that's the conversation between the two. And here we have Yummy You Benyi. Nice to see you again. Barcelona's NATO swap deal with either Alonso or Azpilicueta. Is there something you want to happen? Let me know if you want an Alonso deal to be a swap for NATO, if that's something you'd like to see happen. Again, I think Tobago makes a good point, because the truth is, Chelsea's current player wages, I think, is everywhere. It's literally everywhere, and I think the club is trying to get it under control. And I must say, I think that it's important that we look at the salary of players that we're trying to sign. But let me ask this question: how good is Pedro Neto, and how many games has he played? And do you think he will be a good signing for us? Should we get into, reach an agreement with Barcelona for it to be a swap for Neto and Marcus Alonso, like Yomi Bayena said here? I think it would be a good deal, but how good is he? Again, big up to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you. Right now, we're up to 35 likes. Yes, we're shooting for 200 likes today, and it's looking like we can do that. So I urge you, please, if you haven't, be sure to like the video, and more importantly, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and also click on the bell notification button so you get notices when we go online, so you don't miss anything. And we're planning a release of a lot of short videos, some of which will be in the format of a documentary. Some will just be short videos, and I think you'll like them. Believe me, they are delicious. And as my friend Stav would say, stop using delicious to define things you like the ant cookery. But that's by the way. Liam says a big up, just saying hello. And Colin Sampang saying hello, guys. Can we see something here? Ramsdale, for Christ's sake, took two clubs to relegation, then became the number one for Arsenal. Then let's go in for Ben Leno's attention. You make a good point. Ramsdale was a shrewd signing for Arsenal. But then again, I think you could say there's no guarantee that we will be as lucky as they are. So we should be looking at proven goalkeepers, because in 2023 we'll be losing Mendy for AFCON, as our good supporter here, True Blue, pointed out. So again, I think we should be careful. We should go for proven names to be sure that that we have a capable hand available, to guard the sticks for us when Mendy leaves for AFCON in 2023. So we don't want to take a risk. Again, why don't you rate Jan Oblak-Kachila? I don't think, or maybe I've not been paying attention. I don't think he's good on the ball. I don't think he's good with his feet. Again, that's me. He's a fine shot stopper and can make some brilliant saves. But you tell me, just Viola, how good do you think he is on the ball? That's where I am really concerned about Jan Oblak. I don't think he's that good with his feet. You let me know if you think otherwise. I wouldn't argue against that. And again, I think we're doing quite well. We have 36 likes, but we're shooting for 200 likes today. So we need more likes. We have 40 people watching. So we should have at least 40 plus people watching. We should have at least 40 likes. Yes, Navas, a player for Tuchel. Yes, thank you very much. So if he's played for Tuchel, Navas played for Tuchel, so to speak. If he's played for Tuchel, then signing him, maybe they probably have a good relationship. So it could be easier. It may be easy to sign him. And given that he's had issues with Donnarumma, I think we should give it a try. again, like I've said, if you don't buy tickets, you're never going to win a lottery. So it's worth trying. He's won the Champions League. I think he won it 3 years in a row or 2 years. Let me know. I think 3 times under Zinedine Zidane. I think we should go for Donnarumma. Navas would be glad to come to Chelsea. Chelsea would give him more competition to play than a PSG. And again, surprising, you'd be surprised. There's a chance that Thomas Tuchel actually may prefer him under Edouard Mendy. You never know. Excuse me, let me take a sip of water before I lose my voice. Yeah, I think we should give Navas a try. And again, please, I urge you to like the video and also to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so right now. Now, it says he would be an excellent backup, but I'm not sure he would be happy as a number 2 because he's a fighter for the England first place. That's always been the question. Again, we're signing players who feel like they're capable of being the number 1, and that's why we're Chelsea Football Club. I know in the goalkeeping department, that's a difficult area to have that kind of competition. Usually, managers have a preferred goalkeeper, and it's usually not easy to say, okay, that the other goalkeeper is out of form, and this one is in form, except if the one who's been started making too many mistakes. Even in the case of Thomas Tuchel, even when Edouard Mendy started making too many mistakes, he didn't even make changes. So I hope that's my point is in the goalkeeping department, there will always be number 1 and number 2, and managers hardly change that. I strongly believe that Navas would give Mendy a very good fight, and that's what we're looking for. We need somebody that Thomas Tuchel would trust, and then Mendy will understand that he has somebody capable of taking his place if he underperforms. But right now, that's not the case because Thomas Tuchel simply doesn't trust Kepa Arrizabalaga. True Blues, yes, I was trying to remember Gigi Donnarumma came on later post Tuchel. Yep, I think there are more talented young boys in the Brazilian league that can suit the missing position. So our scouts should work more harder. Here's the thing. I think it was Choma yourself that talked about that yesterday, and True Blue had a brilliant response to that. He mentioned South Americans or Brazilians that we've signed before, including Kennedy, including Nathan. There are a few names that he mentioned we signed directly from Brazil, and they did not do well at all. Some of them did not even make it to the first team. But if you look at the Brazilians that's come to Chelsea and has done well, we signed them from European clubs. I think it was True Blue that made that comment yesterday. So we should be at that. You should be at that at the back of your mind. He is really very tall, like Mendy, which is Kepa's weakness, and well used to playing the ball longer with Burnley's style of counter-attack. I think let's see what happens. That may well be an option if you think it's that good. I want to get a True Blues opinion. Can you let me know what you think about what Liam is saying regarding the goalkeeper he's suggesting? Strange, if Tuchel likes a keeper good with his feet, why does he leave the one that is on the bench? That's a brilliant question right there. And I think you ask a good question because the truth is Mendy is really trying on his feet. But I think that in terms of being good on the ball and being good with the feet, I think Kepa Arrizabalaga is much better in that aspect. But again, we've established that Thomas Tuchel doesn't seem to trust Kepa Arrizabalaga, and more importantly, more disgustingly, I must say, he's treated him so badly that even Kepa by now will be looking to leave the club. But the good news for me is I like the guy, and there are no shortage of suitors. I heard Sarri wants him, Newcastle wants him. And I'd like to see him leave to reach his potential, because at Chelsea, you can argue he hasn't reached there quite yet because he's been disrespected on occasions. Frank Lampard didn't handle the issue he had very well, and then Thomas Tuchel is treating him badly, even though he's done brilliantly well whenever he gets the sticks for us. Right now, we have 62 people watching and 40 likes. Come on, people, beef up the likes, wherever you're watching from. If you haven't liked the video, please take a second and like the video. And if anybody asks you to pay, it doesn't cost anything. Tell them that Just Viol, True Blue, or Tobago had already for you, and they will leave you be. But we need more likes, because the more we like, the more likes we get, the more the Google algorithm will be triggered, and we'll be able to reach more people. So please like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let's see if we can get as much as 70 subscribers like we did yesterday. I know we can do that, but please, you have to share the video, invite more people to join us, and like the video. Right now, we have 71 people watching. Let me go through the chat again. I cannot see either Navas or Pope leaving to play second fiddle. That's again, and that's the thing. But I think Kilo Navas, given his pedigree, reputation, if you prefer, may well see an opportunity to become Chelsea's number one, given that he's worked with Thomas Tuchel. And if you're in the chat, also let me know. I'm not well acquainted with Kilo Navas's ability on the ball. Maybe he's good, maybe it's not that good. I don't know. But you remind me. Maybe I've forgotten. Again, we need a proper scout now. Scouts, talented players that will suit the Tuchel system. I think we've always had good scouts. If you look at the players we've signed in the past, I think I'm not sure why we made some signings that hasn't worked, and I think I'm hearing the same scouts we have at the club said that what's his name? Said that Erling Haaland will not doesn't suit. Will have issues in the Premier League or something similar, but I'm not sure. Before I continue again, I want to reiterate that we have 72 people watching, and we have just how many likes right now? 44 likes. Come on, people, let's shoot for 200 likes today. The more you like the video, the more the Google algorithm will be triggered and help us reach more people. And if you haven't, please take a second to subscribe to the channel. Again, it says, yes, getting a second goalkeeper is one of the hardest positions to fill in, especially if you're looking for a quality goalkeeper, because to the goalkeepers coming, you already have a preferred choice as your number one goalkeeper. So world-class goalkeepers will always ask questions, then what am I coming to do? But sometimes you do get goalkeepers who are confident in their ability, and they see themselves, coming in and becoming the number one goalkeeper at the club in question. I think Kilo Navas, given the fact that he's worked with Thomas Tuchel, may well be that confident that he'd be able to become the number one goalkeeper should he come to Chelsea Football Club. But again, the point is, we're talking about this because there's most likely 100% chance that Kepa Arrizabalaga leaves Chelsea Football Club, and there's no time for things to change. The season has come to an end. Even if it starts the last two games, I don't see that being enough, to comfort him to stay. Thomas Tuchel has treated him badly, if you ask me, and that's how I'm going to keep saying it. I know some people don't like hearing that, but that's simply the case. Thomas Tuchel hasn't treated Kepa Arrizabalaga well, and now we have 84 people watching. We have 84 people watching the stream, but we still are below 50 likes. We should be shooting for 200 likes. If you haven't, please take a second. It is free. It doesn't cost anything to like the video so that the Google algorithm will be triggered and the stream will be pushed to more people who will be interested in this particular conversation. And then it will be more fun. The more people we have here, the conversation will be more fun. And please take some time. We've gained a few subscribers today also. Take some time to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We have Solomon saying, I feel like it would be wrong allocation of funds if we go for a goalkeeper this window. How so? Listen, I think we've established here it was True Blue that mentioned it, and quite rightly. Mendy will most certainly leave for AFCON in January, around January 2023. So who do you have as the second choice goalkeeper that will come in and do a good enough job and not leave us vulnerable between the sticks? So again, we need, that's why with Chelsea Football Club, the goalkeeping department is an equally it's equally an important department to be sure you have a capable hand there, because if you don't have a good goalkeeper who concedes whenever oppositions go beyond whenever the attack oppositions breach our defense, then the goalkeeper's performance will also affect the defensive line's performance. So it all goes together. So it's important that we get a capable hand between the stakes whenever Mendy leaves for AFCON. So again, I understand it will not be a wrong allocation of fund. I think the goalkeeping department is a critical department that we must consider. Just really say that I've always been impressed with Oblak, but I don't think he will leave Atletico Madrid. There's no guarantee. I think if you don't, like I said before, if you don't buy tickets, you're never going to win a lottery. Let's try first, and let alone he says he wants to stay at Madrid. I think he'd leave if you reach out. And again, he'd like to win something. He'd like to win the Champions League. He'd like to win something else other than the La Liga trophy. And I think Atletico Madrid hasn't given him that. And I think he'd see his chances of winning it more at a club like Chelsea than Atletico Madrid. Because Simeone is one you could say he's very predictable, and I think him winning the Champions League will be very difficult given the way he plays. But that's by the way. A. Suleiman said we can do proper scouting and get a good backup in January window. I think January is. I think now is the time to start planning, because remember Thomas Tuchel called it a rebuild, by the way. And the truth is, I think his comment makes perfect sense. It is a rebuild. It's become a rebuild in the sense that we'll be losing too many players already. We'll be losing Antonio Rudiger, Andreas Christensen, Marcos Alonso, who's bent on leaving, and that's so that we may well lose. Cesar Spilicueta. Thomas Tuchel says he's torn between staying at the club and also leaving the club. So, and again, there's a chance we lose, what's his name, Jorginho, and there's a chance we lose a player or two in the attacking area. Why do I think we might lose players in the attacking area? We have superstars such as Hakim Ziyech, who's a fine player, and now who may well switch to Manchester United, because Manchester United signed Erik ten Hag. The coach that he did brilliantly at Ajax, and again he could get a chance to play with Van der Beek. He's played with before, so there's a chance he leaves. So we're saying about 6-7 players leaving Chelsea in the summer transfer window. So it's a rebuild indeed. And if we're talking about a rebuild, we should also be considering a goalkeeper. That is another good goalkeeper to have, even a goalkeeper that give capacities about that Thomas Tuchel will trust, that will push Eduardo Mendy to get him to do even better than he's done, because it is for his own good, if you ask me. And again, right now we have 48 likes and we have 90 plus people watching, so we can do better than we're doing right now. Please do take a second wherever you're watching from and like the video. And remember, I promise, like we did yesterday, if we have 100 plus people watching, we will do a giveaway for $50 for another lucky winner today. And again, please subscribe to the channel. I'm saying it is free. And if anybody asks you to pay, tell them just Viola and all other people in the stream had already paid for you. So the more you like the video, the more we reach more people. Suleiman, what if Kepa leaves in the summer? Again, that's the question exactly. That's why we need another goalkeeper at this point. Chomeni isn't ready. They said, yeah, that was a mistake, and now he's even costly. But there may have been some good reasons why we didn't get to sign him last season. Big up everyone. Might join. I have to see coach. Yeah, I think I've sent you the link already. Let me know if you have time. Join. If not, I understand. I know it's either you are at school or you are at work. I totally understand. And I love you, brother, no matter what. And again, this is CFC for him. And his channel is one of the fastest growing channels in the Chelsea community. If you haven't, go check out his channel and be sure to subscribe. Believe me, you will like his content. Liam Lane, why is Pope being capable of keeping long benefit. We don't play it that way. In France, Mendy went long 84% of kicks. Yeah, again, I think we don't play it like Nick Pope's team play at this point. We play differently. We like to keep it on the carpet from the back to front, and we like goalkeepers that are calm on the ball and not panic when they are pressured. Again, please, I urge you, if you haven't, do subscribe to the channel and like the video so that we can reach more people. Smash the like button, people. Get it to 100 at least. Yep, that's what we're planning. We're at 52 now. So you guys are absolute legends. I know we'll get there. Esliman said, okay, this is just a response. Hey, just Viola. And here we have, I am sure Petr Cech is really working on that. He's scouting behind the scenes for a proven goalkeeper. Mendy's on the ground, such Peter, here we go. Maybe if that's the case, I'd like it. If Petr Cech himself is handling the recruitment of the goalkeeping department for the goalkeeping department, I think he'd do a good job because he knows what to look for in goalkeepers. Again, let me see if I have anything else. A goalkeeper is the position with last injuries. You wouldn't need to rely on your backup goalkeeper except for maybe 5 games in a row. But I get your argument, but I'm going to let you know this. Managers don't change goalkeepers that often. But the truth is, you need the starting goalkeeper to have a stronger competition. That's why with Chelsea Football Club, if your starting goalkeeper doesn't have a strong competition, then you have a problem. If they underperform, you're not going to have a good replacement for them. And again, in the case of Mendy, because Tuchel doesn't trust Kepa Arrizabalaga, Mendy doesn't have a stronger competition. So even whenever he underperforms, he doesn't feel pressure to even perform, given the way Thomas Tuchel has handled the selection process of the goalkeepers. With that, I'm going to try and catch up, then I'll come back to the panel and welcome LSC and ask him a few questions regarding the goalkeeping position situation, whether he has a goalkeeper in mind that he thinks Chelsea should go for. Suleiman, this is just a conversation between the people in the chat. I agree with you on Kepa and TT. It just shows whatever he says, he doesn't trust Kepa. Yeah, whatever he says in public, that doesn't make sense. Do I have the wrong link? Yeah, you may. So I'm going to send you the link in a bit again. So sorry about that. Smash the like button again. Fahim reminds you, let's get it at least 100 likes. Okay, let me see. Anything else to read? I don't think there's anything else to address here. LSC, welcome to the panel. How are you doing, brother?
I'm not too bad. How are you doing?
Sorry, did you hear? Yeah, how are you doing? Welcome to the panel.
Yeah, welcome. Can you hear me?
Yeah, crystal clear. I think it was my fault because my earphone, whenever output isn't coming from the computer, it switches off automatically. Now, the question I have for you, we're talking about the goalkeeping department, and we've established that it's likely that Kepa Arrizabalaga will leave Chelsea Football Club, given the way he's been treated. So we learned from, also reminded us, True Blue reminded us that Mendy will be leaving for AFCON in 2023. And so we recognize the importance of having a capable hand that will also compete with Mendy, make Mendy, it is for Mendy's own good to do even better. Your thoughts are, don't you think it's important that we start looking for a goalkeeper right now? And it's also good for Mendy's own good, so that he does better than he's doing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm a goalkeeping, fanatics, one part of football I really like, So for me, I would say someone like Keylor Navas, because he needs to come because he's at the right age. We'll be happy to deputize and actually challenge Mendy for the #1 spot, even in the Premier League. So I believe him. So he's one of my best goalkeeper ever. So I don't think we should get someone young, because in terms of goalkeeping age, Mendy should be in his prime, So Mendy has not even hit his prime, actually. We still need about 2-3 years to hit his prime last year. as a goalkeeper. So I will strongly suggest someone like Navas to come in, and challenge Mendy for the number one spot. Then we can cut our losses and let Kepa go, because the inconsistency, the heartache, the stress. I know a lot of people like Kepa, but that Lampard season really didn't help him, his confidence and the way he was disrespectful to Maurizio Sarri. I wasn't a fan of that either. So
yeah, but I think you got to say this, Alexi. I know you can agree with me. We've moved beyond that, but the fact is, what I'm trying to establish here, I think you could argue. I hope you agree with me, and maybe Phantom agrees with me. I think Thomas Tuchel has treated him poorly, and that was a risk. And if you need me to give you example on how he's treated him poorly, I think I can go into that. But go ahead. You were still making a point before. I jumped in.
Yeah, I can understand, him not being played, and him being one of the highest paid players at Chelsea, and using him throughout the cup competitions and not giving him the opportunity to play in the big finals. So that won't be fair on his part. But you can also argue that if you really want to secure, if you want to secure the trophy, if you want to secure the next round, so you have to go out with your best player, and Tuchel did what was best for the team. And I'm also sure that a professional like Kepa will understand that. So as long as there is an established number one in the case of both of them, so I can't really fault Tuchel for using Mendy instead of Kepa, because he's an established number one in that position. So, I think it's time, like Tuchel said, it's time for a rebuild, it's not the time to refresh or renew the squad. There's a time to rebuild, which is absolutely important, because we're going to be losing close to 6 or 7 players. So
or even more, because a lot of people in the attacking area, a lot of the players you could argue are not happy.
I'm not including the usual suspect, the Bakayokos, the Parama and the rest. I'm not including them. I'm not talking about the first team, the current first team. So it's going to be a difficult one, especially with our circumstance now. We should be active in the market. There are rumors going around about Josconde, Dembele. I don't believe any of this at all. I don't believe any of this. I'll have to wait. I'll give myself to the middle of June before I even think about transfer, or even think about anything about transfer. But if we were to answer your question, like I did earlier, Keylor Navas will be my one and only choice, to come in.
And I do agree with you. Here's why. I heard that he's having an issue with John Aruma.
Yeah,
and if that's the case, if he's having a problem with him, then this is the perfect time to pounce, or exploit the conflict, and it's a good thing that he's played under Thomas Tuchel too, so that he may still have a good relationship with him. So you never know. Maybe, so if we can get him, given that Thomas Tuchel trusts Mendy, if we have another goalkeeper that he trusts, then you could argue now we have a competition.
Now
we have 2 goalkeepers. So it will be a good idea. So Phantom, welcome to the panel. Sorry, I forgot to send the link before the show started. I don't know why you don't have a Twitter account. Is that what for supporters do?
Is it easier for you to send it through a Twitter account?
It will be easier. Or is that what forum supporters do? Forum supporters don't have Twitter accounts.
No, I have a Twitter account to receive.
I'm just kidding.
I have a Twitter account just to receive people's StreamYard links.
I think we should do that, because it doesn't look like we're connected there.
It's very easy. It's just Phantom of Many. because they don't let me use the word topics. It's too long.
It's too long. Oh, okay. I'll check it out. So I'm coming to you right away, Phantom. You tell me what do you think about the goalkeepers?
Hold on.
I'm going to kick you out. I'm going to kick you out of the panel now. So, Phantom, you tell me what you think about the goalkeeping situation at Chelsea. And I know you heard everything that LSE said. And again, some people are saying we shouldn't start with the goalkeeping department, that it will be a waste of resources. And my argument is no. I think the goalkeeping department is equally as important as recruiting defenders. Because if you have a goalkeeper, when Mendy isn't left, let's say, for instance, in 2023, Mendy leaves for AFCON, and we have a goalkeeper that is not properly equipped to guard the sticks for us, and we started conceding goals whenever oppositions go beyond our defense, the goalkeeper's poor performance will eventually start affecting the defenders. So let us know if you think it's important that we start looking for a goalkeeper right now, and if you can suggest one for us too.
I suggest Nathan Baxter, just like they said. Isn't he like in the championship right now on loan or somewhere?
And you just say championship. And do you think that with that, his him being a goalkeeper in the championship makes him ready to become our first choice goalkeeper? I would
tell Mendy, hey, I mean, I don't even understand all this, going back to your country and playing for your country's team. I mean, which is more important, the African Cup or the Premiership? But I guess football or European football or world football has a different culture than I mean. In America, we would, if you played for the Dallas Cowboys, you would never be able to go take a leave during the middle of the season to go play for a different team. I mean, that's just something that I don't understand, I guess. But I won't.
Yeah, but your thoughts on the goalkeeping department. You said Nathan Baxter.
That's okay, DePaco. I'll just talk to Chelsea perspective. I got this today from Amazon. I didn't think I would get it till June 8th, but I got it early. That's pretty awesome.
So do you know how well do you know Keylor Navas? Do you think he would be a good choice for us?
I've never heard of him before, but what's wrong with Bettinelli? He wasn't even given a chance.
Do you think Bettinelli is good enough?
Well, I don't know.
To step in. Yeah, that's the question. So we go ahead.
I think if what's his name, Kepa, is for sure leaving to Lazio or wherever he's going to, then we should give Bettinelli a chance in these last two games. I mean, why put out Mendy for these two useless games? Here's
the thing. Go ahead.
Nick Blue, take a look at the badge. I want to do a song for Nick Blue, which is "You'll Never Sing That, You'll Never Sing That." Champion of the English Championship, you'll never sing that, because Chelsea will never get relegated to win the English Championship.
Yeah, we'll never. So I think I get Nathan Baxter maybe should be given a chance, but maybe not as maybe as a third choice, but I think he needs to be where he will be playing day in, day out. And if he does enough and we see that's capable of becoming the number one goalkeeper, maybe get a loan in the Premier League. That helps him. But right now, I think we should have at least two world-class goalkeepers. We have two world-class goalkeepers. Unfortunately for us, Tuchel doesn't trust one, notwithstanding not minding what he says in the public.
Expensive. And I think the biggest thing is, okay, so Kepa likes to kick the ball down the field, which is what I would do as a goalie instead of try to build it from the back.
He builds from the back even better than Mendy does. 10 times as much better, if you ask me.
No, but Kepa also has a stronger leg. So, I mean, the only thing that's not good about Kepa is people kicking it from the 18-yard line can score, whereas they can't do that to Mendy. So I don't know why. Well, also Kepa's a little bit smaller, right? Mendy's got longer arms, bigger, taller, better, faster. Amazingly, I think Kepa might be going to Lazio to join Mauricio
Sarri,
because Mauricio Sarri really wants him. I think it was a language problem last time, because I think what he was thinking was that Sarri thought he was injured. So he was going like, no, I'm not injured. Not that, hey, you're my coach and I'm pulling you out of the game, So it was a miscommunication in language. He didn't mean any disrespect.
Again, I think we've moved beyond that. So we don't even need to talk about it again. If we could argue that to tomorrow, I tell you, we weren't there. We're not sure that was what was said, but you get my point. I'll come back to the panel again, and Phantom, I can't thank you enough for always finding time to join the panel. But next time you wear a Fulham shirt, I'm not going to let you in. I'm just kidding, you know. So Nick Blue, big up to you. Nice to see you in the chat. You have the link in your Twitter DM in case you have time. Nathan Baxter can play every week and get noticed and move to an EPL club. That's a process. Exactly, that's my point. But right now, I don't think it's ready. Maybe if he does well in the championship, then he gets a chance to come to the Premier League. Gets a loan to a Premier League club, and if he does well there, then we can see yes, he's ready for the Premier League. I think it's a process. I don't think Thomas Tuchel would trust him to make the leap from the Championship straight to the Premier League. Again, that's my argument. And people, I've looked. We have about 82 people at the point. We had 92 people watching. And remember, if you get to 100 people watching, we would do a $50 giveaway. And we have 64 likes. I think we've done well so far. But if you haven't, please take a second, smash that like button so that the Google algorithm will be triggered and the stream will be pushed to more people who will be interested in this particular topic. Please do that so that we can reach more people. And also, please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. That will help us reach the 2K a milestone as soon as possible. So that's, by the way, again, Nathan Baxter, I've read that. Says we need to give our youth players a chance. We should invest on important positions. That's the truth. To Fulham, it's pointless games. To Chelsea fans finishing behind Spurs. Yeah. Can you all go on Twitter, Chelsea All Blue Home Kit, please, and RT? Okay, when I get a chance, I'll do that too. Again, this is just conversation between the people in the chat. We don't need to go back, but LSD. Okay, also another CB. Again, we'll talk about that. Big up Kuchila and Pana. Big up GUV 1905. It's been a minute. How are you doing, brother? Nice to see you back. Always happy to see the supporters here back. A Suleiman with the sale. We will have far more than 120 million, and that is we're able to sell the players we want to sell. Big up GV. Yep. Again, congrats on one. Yep. So thank you very much. We're aiming to reach 1.5K today, and I know we can get there. Already we have 70 likes. Yes, people, you're all absolute legends. Please keep smashing the like button and subscribing if you haven't. Now I'm going to go back to the panel. Nick, I'm going to bring you in. I hope what you went for went well today. How are you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm back, coach. Yeah, usual stuff, you know. When you get a certain age, you have to have these things. And it's not a big thing. Yeah, I'm still alive. We'll always be alive for the Chelsea Blue. I don't want to see Chelsea playing stupid colours. Royal blue shirt, royal blue shorts with the white trim. Bring it back and the white socks. That's
okay. I think we'll look at it. We'll look at it later in the show.
We can succeed in the future. Otherwise, it's gonna be rubbish.
Nick, I'll get you one of these shirts if you want.
Yeah, Phantom, please, let me sing a song for you now. Fulham, going down, going back to the championship.
So, Nick, I'm going to come to you, Nick. We're talking about the goalkeeping position, and I think I'll end that with you. Do you have any goalkeepers you think Chelsea should be looking at? Because we'll most likely lose Kepa Arrizabalaga in the summer.
I really hope we don't lose Kepa. I really like him. He stayed, he's waited, and he's still waiting. But we have Mendy, he's a number one. But Benatelli will be number two, so we get number three. I'm going to get a replacement. But I wish Kepa would stay. If Tuchel, anyway, tell Kepa you can stay, play in every cup game, and from now on, you're going to play in the finals. If he says that, Kepa can stay. If not, we're going to have to go. I would like to see Nick Pope. He's a good goalkeeper. We can go after him from Burnley. There's a lot of good goalkeepers out there. Pope, I like Johnson of West Brom. There's a lot. So, but for me, Kepa deserves to be at this club. So I hope they do something for him.
I think you made your point from the perspective of a fan, but we have to be considerate of see things from Kepa's own perspective. Kepa is a Spanish international goalkeeper. It's a World Cup year. He would want to be called up for the World Cup assignment for his country, and being on the bench at Chelsea wouldn't help him. So he most likely will leave, and probably he may be a little too late.
Yeah, but coach, don't you think?
Yeah.
Don't you think if they promise him the finals, semi-finals, big games, and when and league games when Mendy's not ready, fit or mentally ready, Tuchel, it's up to Tuchel what happens. For me, if he really wants Kepa will stay. But if he's going to say to him, no, you ain't going to get no game time, he's going to go because he's Spain's number one for me. And he will be Spain's number one. So that's why, I think.
Yeah, we when you before you come onto the panel, we talked about Keylor Navas. He plays for PSG, and they also have Donnarumma. But both goalkeepers are having issues right now. So we're saying I think this is a perfect opportunity for Chelsea to exploit the conflict, try signing him. Plus, he's worked under Thomas Tuchel. But that's by the way. Now we have a question from somebody, Lord Baelish. And Lord Baelish, I think this is your first time here. And for every other person watching, right now we have 72 likes. Yes, people, you are all absolute legends. We have 72 likes. How many likes? We have 72 likes, and we have 91 people watching. Let's get it to at least 100 likes as soon as possible. We're shooting for 200 likes before the show ends. And if you haven't, please do like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let me start with you. Let me start with you, Forhan Man, a phantom of many topics, aka Forhan Man. I'll go to LSG. We have Nick also in the house. Your thoughts on this suggestion here? I think we've talked about it here, but because this is an interactive show, we respect fans' opinion and we try to address their questions. There's always something to learn. He says, how about swapping Lukaku for Kane? I'll let you answer that question, Phantom.
That was my original idea like 4 months ago, 5 months ago. But I don't think that, what's his name? The Daniel Levy is going to go for it. I think that's because I think Kane wouldn't be so opposed to it. I know that Kane's girlfriend definitely would want to have stayed in the London area instead of go to Manchester City or wherever.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen again.
Yeah, but no, I mean, what I'm saying is because Kane is so much better than Lukaku. I mean, geez, I mean, and Kane, and like I said, with Kane and Son, I would swap out any 5 Chelsea players to get those 2 players on the Chelsea, and then we could just rebuild around, Kane and Son. But no, Daniel Levy isn't going to go for it. And Nick, I switched into a Roma shirt. It's a little bit more appetizing for you because I know you were a big fan of Tammy Abraham.
So now, here's what I want to say. Here's what I want to say regarding that. I think the fact that Manchester City have signed Erling Haaland, so there's no chance Kane going to Manchester City. That's done. But now, it looks like they're going to make it into the Champions League. Most likely will make it into the Champions League. If they do, then it's still difficult to sign him. It would have been easier to give it a shot, to try see if we can get him if Tottenham doesn't make it into the Champions League. But now it looks like they will most likely than not make it into the Champions League because it will be difficult for them not to get at least a draw against Norwich City. But then again, you must remember, you cannot script this game. When you think outcome A will happen, outcome B will happen. So, Nick, coming to you before I go to LSG, tell me what you think about this suggestion on the screen. Is it even possible?
No, we said it yesterday, I think. No, that's impossible. That will never happen. So forget Kane. Daniel Levy will never sell Kane to Chelsea. All teams. As long as Levy is alive, that won't happen. No chance. There's no possibility. No possibility. and you know, Chelsea will not. They're not going to go for Harry Kane or Tammy Abraham. If Lukaku goes, we're going for Lewandowski. I'm telling you this now because I said some of the things in the past when I predicted things, they came true, but no one appreciates it. So, you know, I'm getting fed up with this.
So you're mad at us for not seeing you as a prophet.
Sorry?
Nick. You're mad at us for not seeing you as a prophet, not recognizing your predictions.
Yeah, look, as a true blue, what I mean to Stamford Bridge. As true blue, he knows what I did for Chelsea and for the fan base, for everyone. As true blue, he can tell you because he knows where I've been and where I come from.
I got a question for you, Nick. What do you think about bringing Tammy Abraham back?
You want to start a fight?
No, yeah, Phantom. Look, I did like Tammy when he was at Chelsea. I did like it, but he hasn't got it. He hasn't got it.
Yeah. You know
He's
what?
He's got it for Aston Villa in the Championship. Wait a minute. He hasn't got it. He's not Chelsea level.
It's probably,
let me finish.
Lukaku and Tammy are both not.
Wait. Phantom, you asked me a question. God. Let me finish. Yeah, he's not for the Premiership, I'm afraid, not for Chelsea. First of all, Tuchel didn't fancy him. He was, you know, he's a tall, technical, good player. But the problem with Tammy was he got bunched off too easily for a big guy like that. You touched him and he was down. You know, that's why he's not Chelsea level. That's why Tuchel didn't fancy him.
Here's the thing, Nick. I don't think we should even be talking about Tammy now. So we have a lot to talk about. And Phantom, stay here because I have a few questions for you. I don't think there's any need bringing LSG in for this comment on the screen. LSG, do you think otherwise? Do you think it's something that's possible?
No, man. There's no need, wasting energy on that.
Yeah. It's surely waste of energy.
Because just look at Kane. Kane, I don't know how Kane is actually, I don't know if he supported Tottenham growing up, but right now, he's a sports fan, and
they're doing well right now, you could argue.
Yeah, they're doing well, so there's no way it's going to cross. There's no way it's going to cross to the blue side. So that one, I never expected it from the beginning. So, yeah, let's take that, man.
Yeah, I'm going to quickly breeze through the chat, and then we will switch topics. This man right here. But again, we have this comment here. I think we've addressed that one. You got to be. I think this is a conversation they're having between them. The latest one with the Tobago logo is good. Okay, we'll talk about the jersey. We'll dedicate it. Maybe we'll make it part of the show, and then we'll talk about the jersey. I think it will be as ticket for US tours. Okay, go and sell. And by the way, I'm elated. Chelsea will play in Las Vegas, my state. So I'm not going to miss any of those games. So maybe I'll see Phantom then again. I wish we'll be able to travel. Yeah, I'm not going to miss those games. I think I will even go with my boys. I don't think there's anything to address here. They love Tammy in Roma. No way they are selling. Even if we do, no, buyback clause means if we want him, we go for him at a fixed price. I think that's what it is. But then again, there's a risk. There's a chance he may well be Lukaku 2.0, another big mistake. There's a chance he will not be able to replicate his form at Roma, at Chelsea Football Club. So I don't want him to risk it. Phantom being all dynamic here. The moment we started talking about Roma, he changed his shirt. But that's by the way. Now, oh Lord Phantom and Lord Balish, Kane is a born sports fan and understands the rivalry and the hatred between our clubs and supporters. He will be like sticking up two fingers at Spurs if that happens. So he wouldn't do that. Kane insisted if Conte leaves, he's going to leave as well. There are speculations about Conte leaving. I don't think Conte leaves if they make it to the Champions League. I think he's still hopeful that Levy will spend in the summer and help him get in some of the players he wants in. And the rumors are that PSG wants Antonio Conte. I don't think that's the truth. They know he hasn't done well in European competitions and probably wouldn't want him. They've been looking for managers who's won the Champions League. Again, Lewandowski has said he only wants a Barcelona. I think we've talked about that before. Just really, if Tammy has serious England ambitions, he might consider coming back. Coming back to probably not to Chelsea. I think I don't think it will work for him for Chelsea. At Chelsea, if you ask me, he started well under Frank Lampard, but I don't want to see Lukaku 2.0. So I'm going to come back to the panel, and I'll start with you, LSC, because you haven't spoken for a while. Let's talk about N'Golo Kante. By the end of the season, he'd have just 1 year left on his contract, and people are judging him. Some people are saying he's finished. Some people, I don't know why do they expect him to be running like a cheetah every time he plays, even now that he's 31 plus. I don't know. And the truth about players, as they age, the way they play change. And Kante hasn't lost anything. He's still got ball recoveries in him. He's still quick. Also, he still reads the game very well. And the other time we talked about N'Golo Kante, I remember the example I use is when he came on for us during the FA Cup final against Liverpool. He did quite well. He helped us control the game a bit. And I remember when it was Diaz down the flanks, he followed him, and I knew he was going to get the ball from him. And he got the ball from him. Had he been Jorginho or Kovacic, Diaz would have skinned them alive. So your thoughts on people calling for the club to sell N'Golo Kante? Do you think we should sell him? Because the guy's just 31. I think all we have to do is just to find a way to keep him fit and to find the best way to utilize him to still get the best out of him. Again, that's me. But I want to get your thoughts.
Yeah, that's exactly my position as well, because this is what I keep saying about reactionary fans. Being emotional all the time. One moment is world class, the best, ever. All right? The moment we lose a game and he was a player in there, oh my goodness, is a problem. So we have to be very careful not to, let external pressure affect the team. The noise coming from outside, Pundit talking about which player should get in the team, helping to coach to select his team. It's almost by giving right now. So unless you check them, there's no way they are going to stop. So I don't buy into the idea of Kante leaving. I just want him to be managed properly. And I think the medical department need to improve as well. Since there's going to be a new ownership, there have to be a wholesale change, in terms of how they have to be like, let me call it a review, of how things are being drawn. All right, at Cobham, so the medical department has to be reviewed properly, to, find out why injuries keep reoccurring, and I believe Kante is still carrying out some niggling lungs, around. I don't think it's properly cured, I don't think it's properly fit. I think it's being used, just because of necessity. So in that regard, I think I believe there should be a support system behind him, a competitor, to play either, alongside him or, bench Kante. We need someone that can bench Kante, and we've said here on this stream and on another platform that Tchouaméni would be the right person. It's almost like, like for like, and they have, the same country, same Frenchman, so I think one game a week will be okay for Kante, because I don't see him as someone that is going to be complaining, about not having game time. All right. That is if the complaint is not coming from the outside. You see, this is one thing I've noticed about player psychology, especially when they are being interviewed, because this is where we have problems. The team is doing well. One moment, there is an interview going on, and then the spirits of the camp, even though it's still not affected, but because we keep talking about it, all right, and to keep getting asked about it, then there's a tendency for it to permeate around the club, especially if we lose a game. If we keep winning, the rumors don't matter. All right. But if we lose a game, everything keep falling apart. And then, it's just like a different version of Stockholm syndrome where we just say, oh, it's a Chelsea team. Come on, man. It doesn't have to be a Chelsea team. Okay. There are things that we can do better, all right, than just accepting it to say it's a Chelsea team. All right, so rumors like this or issues like this talking about Kante leaving or get rid of Kante, thank God the fans are not the ones in charge of transfer.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be an house parliament. So
yeah, you make a good argument there. And again, I think the truth is that about N'Golo Kante, there will be no shortage of suitors should he decide to leave the club. And I do hope he stays. I think we just have to, like you mentioned, we have to find a way to manage his participation in the team and to ensure, because he's a human being after all. We've used him like, I don't know what word to use to be politically correct and not sound like.
And there is no way.
Yeah, go ahead.
There is no way I see Tuchel doing it. If Kante leaves, let me just say here now, if Kante leaves, Tuchel won't be happy, and Tuchel will be the one, that wants him out of the club. Hell no. Do you know how Tuchel's children, his little girls talk about N'Golo Kante? They know N'Golo Kante, even right from when he was in France. Tuchel was talking about this in press conference. He loves the player. So there's no way it's going to, when you see how far Thiago Silva playing, it doesn't work that way.
No, it
there's a
doesn't.
lot of emotions and the connections.
Yeah.
I think, after we won the Champions League, the amount of players we let go. I personally believe we should have kept Giroud, because that guy would have, in difficult situation, clutch moments, it would have been better for us. So whoever is handling the transfer at Chelsea, I don't think there's still going to be changes right now, even with the new owner coming in. I don't think there's going to be changes at all. But we still have Bruce Buck there, and we still have Marina. See what I'm saying? And with the way Boehly is cozying up to Bruce Buck, being Americans, I don't think he's going to lay down the hammer straight away. I understand there needs to be, a transition period. Okay, but that must not undermine, our activity in the transfer market, in the idea of us making changes, necessary changes, brutal changes, that is necessary for us to move forward, instead of remaining mediocre, waiting for the last day. I guarantee you, if our transfer doesn't go to the last day of this season, of the transfer window, trust me, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, okay, I will go ahead. Yeah, I will breeze through the chat, and I'll come back. I'll go to Phantom of Many Topics then, and Nick. Well, let me catch up with people in the chat. And right now we have 81 likes, and we have 83 people watching. You guys are absolute legend. So we're measuring that is the viewers, but we should aim for 100 likes before the 2-hour mark. If you haven't, please take a second just to smash the like button. It is free. You don't have to pay anything. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We've gained a few subscribers today, but we're looking to gain at least 100 subscribers today. We gained 70 plus subscribers yesterday, and I know we can do that. So if you're in the chat, if you haven't, please like the video and also smash the and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. So let me catch up here, and I'll bring in Phantom, Nick, and then my brother Declared. I hope he starts a fight with Nick today. I'd like to watch that. Here it says Kante's injury record is getting worse. I think Declan Rice should replace him. Again, that's your opinion, but you all know the Chelsea fan base overwhelmingly prefers Chouameni. But if Declan Rice comes, he won't be a bad player either. But Declan Rice is no match for N'Golo Kante in terms of the way they play. Both players have the foreign attributes that make them different from each other. Again, let me see if there's anything to address here. Prices are always negotiated. Yeah, he says, Liam Lane, go into, I don't want to read that. Again, anything here to address? Again, let me see. I don't think there's anything here to address. And he says, hi, I am a big fan of Mohammed MX 2 years. Nice to see you here, Mohammed. My brother, if you haven't, please do like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Giroud was on a free and Marina got us a fee. Yeah, but that wasn't easy. Yeah, Marina has done some great job in terms of negotiating good fees and buying players and selling players. Ryan Porter here said, we lost the league in preseason. Tuchel needs to keep more covered at every position. Emerson, Gallagher, Caldwell, Gilmore, Broya need to be in the team next year. Since this is an input from a viewer here, Phantom, do you want to address this, or do you want me to move it to Nick or Declan?
I will address Conte. Okay, so Silva is 37, but he has the body of a 31-year-old.
Okay, go ahead with the Conte. Yeah, go ahead with that one.
37-year-old. Conte. Okay, so you say he's only 31, but his body is worse than Christian Pulisic. Let's sell him for value. Sell him for value. Because,
really?
Yeah. Sell him. Sell.
Why do you think so?
Because, okay, was it someone yesterday who said he's not really a defender, right? But he's not really an attacker either. So what does he bring to the table? I mean, he conduit passes like Jorginho. Is that what he brings? I mean, what does he really bring to the table, especially if he's not going to be the same Conte that he was 3 or 4 years ago because of his broken body? And that broken body is not getting any better.
I'm going to leave this fight to you alone. I'm not going to even respond. Nick, what do you have to say to what Phantom just said? A Fulham fan, by the way.
I have a lot to say. Phantom doesn't care about N'Golo Kante. You know, he's back. He's not broken, and we need him. Forget about this. Phantom, go back to Fulham and stop all this nonsense, please. I'm not laughing, Coach. This is not. No, it's not. Man. You know, N'Golo Kante is the best midfield in this bloody world. So, what's Phantom talking about? Give me.
No, he's entitled to his opinion. Here is the thing. I want to add to this, and I'm going to let Declan, you come in first. Come in. The response.
No, wait. I haven't finished. Wait a minute.
Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead, Nick. Take your time. Go ahead.
Let me. Hey, try not to laugh. Come on.
Yeah. It's not funny.
I won't laugh.
Talking Chelsea. I don't laugh and muck around like you.
I know.
I told everyone not to laugh.
Go ahead.
So don't
tell me everyone not to laugh.
Yeah. No, you can't laugh. Yeah. N'Golo Kante, we're going to need him next year. It doesn't matter who comes in, who goes out. Kante's going to be there as long as he gets a contract. He won't be too fussy. They're going to offer him another year or two. That's for sure. And, you know, he's no one better for the major finals or to have him on the bench in, you know, a league game. So don't tell me that rubbish, Phantom. Go to Fulham and stay there, please.
Yeah, I like it when Nick gets passionate. And Phantom, I intentionally let Nick be the one respond to this because you're really looking for a fight here. The clergy want to come in?
Yeah. But no laughing, yeah? No laughing, all right?
I knew Nick was going to be pissed. I knew. And Nick, thank you for that passionate response. Go ahead, Declan.
I got a passionate response too. As much as I love Kante, he's been great. The situation we find Kante in is that he has 1 year left. He's our second highest paid on 290k, and we're in the position where we're in the situation where we need to bring 5+ players, probably more, in the team. This is going to be a crazy transfer window. And we got the second highest wage bill. You know, when you got like people like Lukaku, Werner, and then we got this whole squad of Ziyech. You know, we got a massive squad of people that aren't good. We said that aren't good enough on decent wages, and our starting 11 are some of the people that are on their lowest wages, right? That is a factor going forward, right? That has to be addressed. And so Kante's in a situation where he's having trouble playing every game. The amount of Ks that he puts on the pitch has been so high that we're starting to see the effects of it, right? But Kante still has a massive name, and you can get something for Kante now, not later. So if you keep Kante, you also need good backups. So that creates another problem, right? In this system, Kante's attributes isn't the best for that system, right? Because the more someone like Tchouameni that's been thrown around, or the best ideal, or I'll just not even say anyone's name, the best ideal midfielders, if we keep in the same system, by the way, is someone very versatile in attack, defend, and distributing the ball, because we need them. It's how the system is based. So we need them to sit. We need, if in time being, to contribute in attack, and they're also part of the whole build-up, right? Ideally, that's what you want. So Kante is not the best for that role, but Kante has great attributes in different areas, right? And then when you pair him up with Jorginho, as maybe a collective, they become that good, become the solid two midfielders that we have. But it can get better. But there is heaps of, but the other issues you can't go past. He's on massive wage. He's on a wage that he should be carrying the team, and he can't even play every game. So for me, I think this is the best time to part ways.
Do you remember, if I can come in, if you don't mind, please, can I come in? If you remember, this Kante we're talking about now, this Kante we're talking about now, I said that Phantom is dynamic. Now he's Chelsea. This Kante we're talking about, he wasn't fully fit. And he was one of the, you could say, he helped us win the midfield in the Champions League final. Same thing under Mauricio Sarri. He was half fit. He played the Europa League final, and he helped us win it. So, and you're talking about him not being, properly suited for this the system we play right now. Can you tell me why has Thomas Tuchel been looking to sign him when he was at PSG?
At PSG? Because he already had those midfielders, yeah. He had Marquinhos playing in the midfield, in doing that role, and he also played free in the midfield with Marquinhos there, who dropped back. I don't know if it was Thomas Tuchel that wanted him or PSG. I feel like PSG do their own signings, but in France, Kante is a massive name, and he's very marketable. And I think in the same way, whether he fit Tuchel's system, Kante is a specialist. He can help us win games when you give him a role, and that's it. And then you have someone else filling the other gaps, right? Mm-hmm. Kante is great what he does, but you got to remember when what you mentioned is Kante was in his peak. Kante was playing almost every game. Now that's not the case anymore. And he's getting little injuries, and it's almost like if you compare him to a car now, he's put so many Ks on his legs, and in games, right? Don't even compare his age. It's the amount of running he's done over time, and he's been pushed. He's not only been pushed in the Chelsea team, he's been pushed in the national team as well. Every time Deschamps got him too, never rested him properly, played every game, didn't take him off, and they didn't care. He used to always come back injured. And it's just compounding. He can never get fit enough. But if he stays, I hope the preseason helps him with that.
There's something I wanted you to explain. You alluded to about an option of bringing in somebody like Tchouameni, to play to stay at the club. Why can't they stay? Because I'd argue the better option would be to keep him. He doesn't necessarily have to start every game, and find a way to keep him fit. And I think there are other ways we can use him reservedly and not have him run his lungs out every time he's on the pitch. And I think Tuchel has shown that a bit. What about that option? Don't you think that would be a good option?
I agree. The problem I have with that option is that the money.
Exactly. While I talked about that, Declan, was you said that creates another problem. Can you explain?
With him staying?
You said him staying and us bringing another player in that plays in that position creates another problem. Can you explain?
Yeah, because you're essentially getting two players, right? Say if you looked at every position per value, right? If you said I'm going to invest this many millions at this many wage or this position because it's of the highest importance, like the attacking and then the defending, we're going to keep this player. If you had to work around a certain parameters of financial parameters, right? That's how you look at it, right? Now, if you're going to fill in one spot and you want Kante, but we must have another player to cover for Kante, then that's maybe two, three players covering for that position, right? And Kante is already on high wages. Add another wage to it. Now you're contributing a massive percentage of the wage percentage to that position. That's why I said it creates another problem. Now, where I'll be okay because Kante and Jorginho need to sign a new contract. 1 year left. They either sign or we get rid of them. That's kind of where I'm at the moment. Now, if Kante signs at a lower rate, then what I've been saying doesn't really it changes everything. If he has a low rate, we offer him longer, and everything you just said, he doesn't play as much, and we manage his fitness and all that, then that's a different story. But keeping him on the wage that he's on, he's one of the highest paid players. And in a time that everyone wants to bring in all these big players in, that hinders it. I mean, you guys got to remember, Lukaku 320, Kante 290, and Werner 270, highest paid players. After that, it's Chilwell 190. There's a big drop off. So those three players, our highest paid players, they should be the people that have the most influence in our team, and they don't. So you want to bring all these players in, you want to bring big names in. Now that's going to be hindering it. And it's probably the same reason why Rudiger didn't stay, and a whole bunch of other companions. But we got a new owner that changes everything. But they're going to look at that. So if you want to bring big money, big players in on big wages, you can't have so many of them. And so that's how you got to look at it right now.
Let me ask
maybe
you.
If one of them left.
Are you into finances, Declan? Are you into finances? Go ahead.
Depends. Sorry, it depends. It depends how you look at it.
Here's the thing. I think in terms of from a business perspective, you make good sense. But
yes, in business.
To me, I would look beyond, what Kante earns, and try to keep him, because I think this guy can win you big games, and he's proven that on 2 occasions. I've used the examples of the Europa Cup final on the Sarri. He was half fit. The Champions League final, he wasn't fully fit. Again, those 2 trophies are big values to the club in terms of brand and everything else. But I get your point, and I think I'll come back to you in a bit. But I want to quickly catch up with a comment in the chat, and then I'll go to Andrew. Nick, it looks like Nick is having serious issues with this connection today. I hope he resolves it. It says that Kante and Aspi are legends, but it's time to move on. I think there's every reason to think that. And again, if we're talking about moving on players such as Aspi, Kante, and Rudiger has already left, we must remember the issue we had when we transitioned from the era of the Didier Drogba, Michael Essien, Frank Lampard, John Terry, to the era of Oscar, Eden Hazard, Ramirez, and others. We didn't have those people that had that character that define an ideal Chelsea player, the grit, the never die spirit. Those guys, then we didn't have anything like a Charity FC. When the smaller teams come, we beat them. We only get worried when we meet the big teams. So we're risking, again, not having that is an identity, a proper identity in terms of the Chelsea spirit. If we lose those guys, we lose them into an alarming measure, which means we'll have to start breathing again. Yes, we still have Mason Mount, but he still have quite a lot to learn from the likes of Kante or from the likes of Cesar Spilicueta. Again, that's my point. So let me breeze through the chat quickly, and I'll come back to Andy. And before I do that, we have 102 people watching, and we still have 92 likes. Let's try and get the likes to 100. Please, if you haven't, take a second to like the video. It is for free. It won't cost you anything. If anybody says pay, tell them just Viola, or Nick Blue or True Blue had already paid for you. And if you haven't, please do subscribe to the channel. We've gained a few subscribers today, but we're looking to get more because we're on the road to 2K subs. Again, I've read that it says to keep Kante is what we have to do. Again, I'm just going to put a poll out to show you majority of the fans want him to stay. But again, you're making business sense. But I see value in what Kante can help us win. and on what he can provide in the transition period. Jorginho is going, let go. How we show we want the Champions League with him in that position, and he was arguably the player of the tournament. You could argue that too. And here we have this one says that this guy is talking facts. Oh no, somebody supports Declan. I didn't want to see that. Just Viola, he Dean is okay. This is just a conversation between people in the chat. Do I see anything else here to address? If you are in the panel, if you see anything in the chat that you want to address, just let me know and I will bring it up. And again, if you haven't, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. So Andrew, coming to you, I'm sure you heard everything. The fight regarding Kante, Nick Blue's a spirited response to what Phantom of Many Topics said, and I'm sure you heard what LSD said in support of keeping Kante, and also I'm sure you heard Declared's support of Phantom of Many Topics. I want to get your thoughts. Do you think we should let Kante go, sell him because we can make money out of him, or keep him? Do you see more value in us keeping him or more value in us selling him?
So, I believe new owners are numbers, guys. And I think they'll want to see who's getting paid what and whether it's worth it. At this current time, N'Golo Kante is not worth the contract he's currently on. He's just not worth it because he is not available all the time. And that's the most precious commodity a football player can have is availability. Whoever's typing, can you just put yourself on mute, please? Because it's very distracting. I don't know who's doing that, but it sounds like you're typing or doing something. Yeah, so I believe they will offer him a contract. I believe it should be for lower wages because the availability is not there. If he doesn't want to take it, then I'm more than happy for him to be sold. He's done his time. He has won everything here. He won't be, no one will say a bad word against him because it's N'Golo Kante, and that's true. But I think we need to, and it should have been done already, because if you think about it, he's been constantly out for periods of seasons since Sarri's been in charge. So we're talking, 4 seasons now in a row where he's not been available for most of the games. I believe, and we've seen a regression in him this season, I believe that Champions League run was the last best of N'Golo Kante. I don't think we can rely on him, and I think we need to move on. We also, he's not a DM, he's a 6. And we have too many 6s in this squad. I think we need to buy 2 DMs, actual DMs who just, not to play together, but just have 1, 2 in the squad that actually sit there, destroy, pass the ball over, like a Makaleli, something like that. But if N'Golo Kante doesn't accept a lower wage, I would be fine selling him.
So you don't see value in order everything that I explained, like his importance, his character, individual. He's an exemplary professional. We know that his character as a player. Don't you think it's gives more value to the club? You don't see value in his in that aspect.
If he can bring it onto the pitch, yes. If he's out of the pitch, then what's the value? Do you know what I mean? What's the difference then between paying him and just someone? You can just pay someone who's a very happy person to come in and cheer everyone up. That's just the difference. You know
Andrew, can I ask you something? Andrew, can I ask you something?
Yeah, sure.
1 second, yeah. The thing is, I know you say you like N'Golo Kante. Everyone does.
Yeah.
But to let him go. Oh, if he wants to stay, it's good what you said. If he wants to stay on a smaller contract, I'm all for that as well. But say he doesn't want to change his contract once the high wages is on. You still think he should go?
Yes. Because he's not.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. That's why I don't agree.
You don't have to agree. We all have our opinions. Agree, like I want Nick. I want him to stay, and I know you want him to stay. Go ahead, Andrew. Go ahead, Andrew.
I just want to say, I'm just thinking.
Yeah, go on.
I'm just thinking of these guys coming in, looking at what we're paying some of these guys, and whether they think it's worth that money. Looking at like N'Golo Kante, $290 a week, and he's down to 1, and we're thinking about offering him a new contract, which means higher wages. But he's going to play a maximum of 30 to 35 games maybe, and we're already in 60 as the games are this season. I just don't think 290. He's worth it. If it was N'Golo Kante, or if N'Golo Kante was playing as he played in that Champions League run now, I'd be fine paying him whatever. Yeah, because that's what I'm going to get. But I can't rely on it.
Yeah, Andrew, one more thing. Yeah, but it's not like we don't have to pay the money. So the board and Todd Boehly will pay. Don't worry.
No, it's not. I'm not. I'm thinking. I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. They're going to buy.
Yeah, but you have to.
Opportunity.
Andrew, one second again. Yeah, but we have to talk like fans. We're not the boardroom.
Right.
So,
okay. Then I'll talk as a fan.
No, we need to talk like the boardroom.
Okay, I'll talk from a point of fan.
Here's the thing, Andrew.
As a fan,
go ahead.
I don't think he's worth that. We're trying to rebuild this whole squad. He's not worth $290 a week. It's just not worth it. The availability.
Go ahead. Yeah. Again, I must say,
you could coach. You could buy. You could split his wages and pay 2 players who are younger and more available. You could. I'm so annoyed.
Go ahead.
I know we're in sanctions and everything like that, but I think every big club has missed the beat not signing Boubacar Kamara. He's going to go to Atletico Madrid on a free transfer, and he's not going to cost that much in wages either. I know we can't buy him because we're in sanctions, but that's the type of player I want. I want 2 of those players, 2 of those destroyers. That's what I want. And
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Andrew. While I'm still with you, and I get your point. And again, the point of view of you, the Clad and Phantom of many topics, unfortunately, you're winning. But first, I want to just read this comment in the chat from my brother Ludashenko. I hope you're doing well. I know you have people in Ukraine. I hope they're all safe. He says, there's always value in keeping Kante. It's difficult to find good CDMs. Get rid of Jorginho first instead. Again, I think we're on the same page. But unfortunately, Ludi, we're losing this fight because even the whole panel almost except 2 or 3 people are for Kante staying, but that's by the way. I get it. I think your position, Andrew, Declan, and Phantom may well be the approach of the new owners because they're numbers people. That's the thing. So we must go back to that. It's common sense. I thought about it. I'm thinking maybe that's probably what they may do, except if Toko thinks otherwise, or if Kante takes a witch cut. But here's the question I have for you, Andrew. I think Declan has been part of this conversation before during our pre-game shows on Chelsea Perspective. We've talked about should we even be playing 2 6s when 1 can suffice? Because if we play a single 6, then we have 1 more player up front supporting the attackers. So why are we for signing 2 defensive midfielders? Is this one? Is it for them to share games so that they start, or do you want them to start at the center? I want to understand, because to me, I want us to move away from playing 2 6s. It doesn't help us, if you ask me. Go ahead.
If he sticks with 3 at the back, I'm fine with him playing 2 dominant ball winners in the middle, because I believe he'll look for the creativity out wide from wide positions from the wing backs, and then you use the front 3, whatever it is, as more tucking inside, because you're going to have the width for the wing backs. That's what I would want. I'd want something like, and it's ironic we're talking about him, I want the Kante and Matic sort of partnership. Kante used to go on up a bit more further, but Matic, although he played a lot deeper, he also had some brilliant assist stats that season, 16-17. I just want someone who wins the ball and passes it forward. That's all I want. I want somewhere in between, Chelsea. I want somewhere in between a mould of a physical. I want a physical presence in that side. So I want someone like the physicality of John Obi Mikel and the passing of a Ballack or a Marco Lesson. I know it's hard to find, but I want
maybe the passing of Fabregas, I'd say.
Yeah, passing of Fabregas. That's fine. But just pass it forward, coach, or side to forward, just pass it, just start the momentum. Instead of turning back, push forward. Push it forward, as we did in 16-17. Matic and Kante would get the ball and push it forward to whoever. To a Moses, to Alonso, to a Hazard, to a William, Pedro, Costa, and let them do that. Let them do that. That's all they need to worry about. Get the ball and pass it forward.
Wow. Declan, you take over. Tell me what you think about the 2 6s suggestion, because it will be difficult to find let's call it a hybrid six for now. A hybrid six for now that's capable of reading the game, protecting the defense, connecting the defense with the midfield and the attack, and also orchestrating the defense, splitting passes, and also scoring more goals, because goals contributions from our midfield, even from the time of Sarri, has been really poor. Your thoughts?
Andrew mentioned the days of Matic and Kante. I used to hate that. I know it was good, but defensively, but there was nothing there.
Nothing really.
But I can see where Andrew's coming from too. And he touched on it as well. But I like to see at least one of those sixes be able to attack, because right now our attack, we attack with 5, with 2 wing backs, 3 forwards. Those 3 forwards, you can count one of them almost as a midfielder, because that's the link as well. But sometimes I want that midfielder that can contribute, maybe with a 6th person, or one of the wing backs can actually tuck in a little bit and he goes up. So you can't be, what's the word? Just a repetitive same people doing the same things in a game and be very predictable. If you have that midfielder that can attack as well, and just like you guys seen it, you remember when Rudiger used to go and attack? You needed a different outlet, and he used to be the guy that found space and just ran and kept going and contributed. I don't want to see a defender be up there. One of those midfielders should be able to join the attack as well. And there's going to be different type of games where teams sit back, and we need that 6th guy up there. Because right now, the way Tuchel had it, and what was the biggest advantage, was every team was big on counter-attacking, and his system was very counter to that, to those systems. That's why we were doing well, and we're keeping clean sheets. Now every team is attacking us, so we need a 6 that can. We need one of the midfielders that can at least defend, distribute the ball the same way we'll be doing, but in different type of games to join the attack as well. That's how I feel. So that's why we need at least one of them to be very versatile in all the attributes, and one can sit. But if you have 2 of them, I think that's how you get the best out of that system. The best out of this system. It's kind of like how we talk about the wing backs. If you play, how we talk about Aspie, and he doesn't give much going forward sometimes, but defensively he's better and he can't keep up. It's almost the same way you can look at the wing backs, and this system, the way it's positioned. If you're a very versatile player, you can find yourself in very different positions, and I think that's what Tuchel wants. And I think to get the best out of the system, I think a lot of players, even someone like Koundé is a good example of that. So if one of those midfielders go up, Koundé can cover his spot in the midfield, and Koundé can temporarily play. He's good on the ball and can fill in, can be one of those 6s for the time being. And it's same with the wing backs. Are wingers and they join the attack, and then one of the midfielders come back. So there's a lot of individual roles that change in this position. Now that's kind of how you saw Loftus-Cheek come in and play wing back role, but he was also coming back into the midfield. And this is all band-aid for now. But if Tuchel's really set on this system and wanted to get the best out of it, you're going to have to look for these characteristics in players. And then the system will work great, and you will be. And it's a way to evolve the system. Now, if you're talking about individual players, and you look at Kante, yes, he's great, and Kante might do even better in another team. It's kind of like what we will say about Lukaku and Jorginho, and a lot of other players that are really good in one thing and not in others. So this is a system that benefits off very versatile players, and I think that's how you should look at it.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I don't know, you and Andrew and Phantom, unfortunately, are getting me to rethink my preference for Kante to stay, but I still want him to stay. I think you guys, what you're talking about makes business sense. And let me say, I'm not going to say unfortunately, thank goodness we'll be getting a new owner, since the new owners are numbers people, and they've said it before, they're going to spend wisely. I don't think they'll be thinking about paying Kante that much money if he isn't playing that well and that much as he should be playing. But that's by the way, I understand that totally. I want us to quickly talk about this man right here before we move to Callum Hudson-Odoi versus Ousmane
Coach, can I
Dembele.
have my point? I want to make the point as well. You don't
Okay,
need to
Nick,
make the point about Chelsea.
Nick, make your point. Yeah, I thought you've done already. You responded, but go ahead. You have the floor.
Because all right, I know what they're saying. You know, Phantom declare. I know you, Andrew, you're saying the right things. I know, but I think, like True Blue says in his comments, I think, I think they will offer him a lower contract, and knowing Kante, what a man he is, he will accept. I'll go with True Blue on this. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Really.
What did True
You
Blue
think
say?
he's gonna take a wage cut because there are other clubs?
If anyone would do that, it'd be N'Golo Kante. No other football player in this world would do that.
Nick, let's be honest there. Nick, your brother, I love you, but let's be honest there. Football is what Kante does for a living. He earns money from football and puts food on the table for his family. And will always go for what's best for him. And what's best for him is earning more money.
Yeah, no, I don't agree. No, you're wrong.
Can I finish?
No, you can't finish. You're
wrong.
Ahead,
Nick. Go ahead.
People can do what they like. How do you know for sure he won't accept a few thousand less? No,
okay, Nick, how do you know for sure that he's going to take a salary cut?
I'm going to say for sure. I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if he does that. Because
that's a fine way to put it. Now you put it the way I will accept it. That's a chance he does that because
that's what I'm saying.
He's a unique individual if you want to phrase it like that. But my point is, there's also the chance that he leaves because somebody else says, come, we'll pay you more money.
Yeah.
Football is his business.
Yeah, but look, I'm just saying N'Golo is a different sort of guy. Look at his car. He has a little mini driving around.
Which means he needs more money, which means he saves quite a lot. That type of person, if he sees big money, he goes for it and saves more. No, that's how I see it. But I get your point.
You can't say that 100%. I can't say otherwise. You know, we have to wait and see what the guy says before you throw him out my club.
Yeah, I get your point. I think there's a chance he takes a salary cut. There's a chance also. We have to agree it is 50-50. But
why would he do that when other clubs will give him more money?
More money, yeah.
Wait a minute. Let me hold on. I ain't finished. Declare. I've declared you permanently from
I asked you a question
from a Chelsea fan base. You're not a True Blue. Go and support Liverpool, Tottenham, please. Bye.
Why Liverpool or Tottenham? Why can't I go for like Newcastle or something? Hey, look, Nick. What if he takes a pay cut? Yeah, you said he's this type of man. All right. But what if PSG come around and go, we'll give you a longer contract because he is in his 30s and Chelsea might not do that. And give him the same money or more. Yeah. And in France, he's big. They can make a lot. You know, he's more marketable. He's more bigger there. They can actually bring a lot more money in to PSG. So what if you telling me he's still going to take that pay cut when that offer's on the table?
No, I didn't say for sure. I said let the man talk before we say he's going.
Yeah,
it's all opinions here, Nick. Yeah, like
we
don't know what's going on.
We're just having a conversation here. But that's by the way. Let's talk about this man on the screen. Let me start with you, Phantom, quickly. Do you want him to stay? Or do you want him to leave? Whatever is your choice. Tell me why. Tell us why. We can't hear you. It looks like you're on mute. You're on mute, actually.
Okay. He is in better shape than Kante is. And I think that he, although he just missed the most important goal, but I mean, that's a one-off, I think. But no, he has more value than Kante to me anyways. He scores more often than Kante, and he's the captain, so I really like Aspie. Aspie's one of the two or three players on Chelsea that I have never criticized one time.
Yeah, I get your point. Before I go to Nick, I want to ask people in the chat, please, if you haven't, be sure to like the video. We are pushing for 200 likes today. We have 103 likes. And the more you like the video, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and the stream will be pushed to more people that be interested in this particular topic. And if you haven't, please do subscribe to the channel to help us reach 2K subscribers as soon as possible. Coming to you, Nick, your thoughts on Cesar Azpilicueta?
Yeah.
Okay, Nick just went away. Andrew, I'll start with you while we wait for Nick to come back. Your thoughts?
He's been a great servant. He's won everything at the club. He's a legend. But he is falling off a cliff at the moment when it comes to his performances. I think also in a back three, I'm comfortable with him playing as a right centre-back, but not as a wing-back. He doesn't offer anything in attack, really, whatsoever. I think he's less valuable than if we sell Kante. My idea would be for him to... I know that there's rumours about this additional year because he's reached appearances. Coach, I would let him leave on a free. I'd let him go. He's a legend. He's done it all. And I want us to wave him off on Watford and wish him well. He's done 10 years at this club. He's done it all. We don't need to... He wants to go home. He wants to retire at home. He wants to retire in Spain. He's done his bit now. Let him go. We can have Reece James play right centre back and focus on getting another right wing back who can help us moving forward. I'd let him go.
Is he living on a free? I think his contract.
What I said is there's rumours about he's reached certain appearances that it's triggered a 1-year clause in the contract. I would let him go. If he's, we don't need. We're not going to get what. I don't know what we'd get for a 32-year-old, 33-year-old, who's really his levels are dropping as we've seen this season. I would just let him go. He's earned the right to leave on a free. Yeah, he's earned that. He's a legend of this club. Okay, he's a legend. No, I've never criticised him like that, but I will say that we've seen the levels in his performance drop dramatically this season. Not as much as that, but it's nearly Ivanovic levels sometimes in their games. If you remember 15-16 Ivanovic, where he just fell off a cliff and he didn't recover, and I don't want that of Aspi. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see us like people slowly turn against him. Let him go. Let him walk. He's done his bit. Let him go.
Yeah, I think you make good sense. I did make a video saying if he wants to leave, and as I'm seeing in the chat, the guy wants to leave. He leaves without blessings. But I'm really concerned about the soul of the team. If you understand what I mean, Andrew, in terms of the transition. What do you think about that?
Can I finish my point? I've got cut off.
You can start it if you want.
All right, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I was just saying it won't be long, Andrew. Yeah.
No. I'm not. I'm saying we didn't hear your start. That was all.
I know.
Sound like you're in drive-through, Nick.
Yeah, I just want to say, about Aspi. I have to say this. It's up to him. For me, it's up to him. Whatever he does, I back him. If he wants to stay another year and be in the dressing room, I'm not saying he's going to play every single game. He might not even play any. But he's a great guy to have at the club still. So whatever he decides, I think he deserves to get that, whatever he wants. That's, he's a legend. Yeah. And I think Chelsea will think about that as well. But if he wants to go,
I think that's a good argument. Yeah, so Andrew, I'm coming back to you. All these guys leaving, what do we do to make sure the soul, when I say the soul of the team, I hope you understand what I mean, remains intact? Because if we lose that, I think we'll probably, I know it's a rebuild already, but we can rebuild a team with the soul, that is, and leave the soul intact and keep that identity, that is the never die spirit. It's not like we have it now, but to some measure, I think it's coming back. I want to know what happens to the soul of the team if we lose Cesar Azpilicueta, if we lose Antonio Rudiger and N'Golo Kante.
So the soul of the team then gets transferred to the likes of Reece James, Mount, Chilwell, and so forth. What we need to do is help these guys by surrounding them with quality. Use Thiago Silva's last year, which I believe it will be next year, as experience to build others around him, like a Chalobah, like a Koundé if he comes in. I'd count coach, I would bring in a Koulibaly for experience as well. I'd use that. I'd start building these players up, and I think I've heard it multiple times. We were successful in the first half of Roman Abramovich and most of Abramovich's era when we had a spine in this team. Okay, when we had a spine in this team, and you knew at least 6 or 7. Add Kovacic to that as well. The spirit. When every Chelsea fan before the game knew at least 7 or 8 players that were going to start in the team. They're fit. We don't know that yet. Thomas Tuchel doesn't know that yet. I would start building around these players, no matter what you think of them, and no matter what. Thomas Tuchel rates and loves playing Mason Mount. Now, has he overplayed Mason Mount? Yes. Because Mount next season will go on to hit 200 appearances for Chelsea in less than 4 seasons, which is insane. Yeah? Mount, I'm not saying he's like Phil Foden whatsoever, but these players should be getting the treatment that Foden has by surrounding them with more experience and better players, so it brings their levels up even more. And that's what we need to do. That's why this summer, I think, whether this new board does a superstar signing, I think they'll go heavy, coach, this summer, so they don't have to possibly go heavy in summers after that. I think they're going to try and rebuild a team right now, so that in future summers, we only have to have 1 or 2 pieces each summer to keep it rotating. You bring back a Gallagher, you put him back into the squad. You bring back a Broja, you put him back into the squad. You Colwell, you put him back into this squad. You have a second year of experience of Chalobah coming up. You build around him as well, because I really rate him. I think he will do well. That's what I would do. I would build around those players. They are experienced now. They've won the Champions League. Whether people want to add Kai Havertz or not is up to them. I'm on the fence with Kai Havertz at the moment, because I need him to start from day one next season. I'm not going to have this second half of season BS that we keep hearing for the past 2 years. And if he does show up, then build around him as well, because I think he has shown us that he's got that quality. So that's what I would do. That's why I think get a Koulibaly in for experience, get the Tchouaméni in, and then look for maybe another experienced midfielder. One that I can't think of no one comes to mind at the moment, but look around the market, look around for these experienced players. Maybe an experienced attacker comes in that will help support the guys. But that's what I would do. I would build around those players, because they're experienced now and they've earned the right. They are quality players. The 5 players I just mentioned are quality players. I'd build around them. Chilwell's a question mark. We have no idea what he's going to be like with an ACL injury. So, but I'd still add, if he is 80% or 85% of what he was before, he's still one of the best left backs, wing backs in the Premier League for me. So I'd build around them. That's what I would do. But, I
get your argument.
I'll assess after the day after the transfer window. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when I'll assess.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Good argument right there. And please, if you haven't, go check out Almighty Blues FC. Great content. Brother, nice to see you here. Declan, do you have anything to add to what Andrew had said?
Yeah, it's very similar. The only thing that, if the plan was always for him to go back to Spain, and Chelsea did trigger that 1-year contract, I think it put him in a worse position, because in order to try to get some little money out of him, there's a chance he end up staying, because the deal can't be negotiated now, because there has to be a fee, and you're gonna get a disgruntled Azpilicueta, who wanted to leave, and the guy right now plays with so much passion, and he probably just asked for one thing, and now we triggered the contract extension just so we can get a little money out of him. I'm with Andrew. We should have let him go for free. He's earned that, I guess, and to make that deal smoothly and make sure it happens. If that's what he wants, if that's not what he wants, then maybe he is in some ways a good squad player. But I mean, that's all he can become now, I guess. And we need backup. So now that we are transitioning the team and rebuilding and all that, it's the best time for him to leave.
And also, if the Perisic rumours are true and we get that transfer, that's an experienced player coming in.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
an
yeah. I'd
expectation.
like to see Perisic at Chelsea. I hope it happens. So, Declan, in terms of the soul of the team, I know Andrew that he's made some great points on the importance of bringing in experienced players to help, keep the soul of the team intact. Do you have any other different? Do you have different, you know, approach you think will be better off in terms of the soul of the team?
That's already gone. To be honest, we already have how many players leaving? Um, I think there's enough players there, and they've been through, and it's probably the younger players that all know each other. There's the soul is still there. You're not losing it, but there's going to be. It's part of the process. We're already losing quite a few players. Add a few more to there. I mean, do you want to keep all 6 attackers for the soul of the team? We're not scoring,
No.
but you don't want to. You can't make a case. They got a lot of soul. Soul doesn't score goals. Let's just say that. And so you gotta weigh it up. The team's getting whichever way you want to look at it. Butchered. There's no soul. There's just this and that. But it's a way to go forward. We do it now. It's probably going to be a rough start. We might not start as well as we think we'll start, even with all these new faces coming in. But once it gets going, once we get into the season a bit more, there'll be a massive improvement. So that soul, the chemistry, whatever you want to call it, will come with time. But this is a must. This is a necessary transfer cut that we need to do.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for that great input, right? I think there's always something to
I have
learn
a
whenever, whenever you're on the panel. And Andrew, go ahead.
I have a question. I wasn't really around back then, but when William and David Luiz and Pedro went, did you guys all go like, no, they're Chelsea true and blue, and we can't let them go? Did that happen with the fans?
We're actually happy.
Yeah, I think I think Pedro and William were. Yeah, William was. Yeah, it wasn't like this. I tell you why. Yeah, we just because everyone's blindsided about it summer who we're getting in, so it wasn't like that. When we got Pedro and William
And because we had other players who think could do a better job than them.
Yeah, we had that summer going. Woo, we got this, and this. They're going to bang.
Yeah, and again, Just Boxy, I think, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. This is the first time I'm seeing you here. And everybody that's watching, please, if you haven't, be sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. He says for Chelsea to sign a new forward, one will have to go. We've all agreed that. But unfortunately for us, I think there will be more players that will be looking to go, some of which it's their own decision because they want to be playing games. For instance, Ziyech would want to leave. He loves to play, but he doesn't get so many games under Thomas Tuchel, and I think he will feel disrespected to a certain measure. Pulisic will be playing more often, and if that doesn't happen, I don't know. I think we may be losing more than one player in the forward area, but that's by the way. Declared it was an automatic trigger when he played 30 games. The club didn't trigger it. The clause was to also protect Aspie. Kachila doesn't like words like backups. Yeah, I don't either. But Declared, you understand his response there. I think you've seen it already.
Yeah, I replied. It's still a choice to the club. They put that clause in so they can choose whether to automatically trigger it or to let him go on the free. So the club will always do that. There's no automatic trigger.
Yeah, is a signing of Lewandowski realistic? I don't think so. Before we start talking about Dembele, I honestly do not think so. Why? Because I think his preferred club destination is Barcelona, and I think he will be on a high wage, and I don't think Chelsea would want to do that because we already have a wage structure that's everywhere. Your thoughts?
Coach?
Go ahead, Andrew. Your thoughts. Start.
What's the transfer fee going to be? Because he's still got a year left on his contract. They're still going to
so he's not living on a free also.
And he's 33, right? So they're going to ask for obscene money for him, like 40 or 50.
Yeah, the numbers being thrown out there.
Just not willing. I wouldn't be willing to. If I'm trying to think. I'm trying to play both sides. I'm just trying to think. Okay, so you get him, you pay him extortionate amount of money, and in 2 years' time, there's no guarantee he's going to bang in the Premier League, right? There's no, and in 2 years' time, we've got the same problem. But we haven't planned properly. So what's the point? Do you know what I mean? It's just throwing money after bad, really. You know, if he was 29 approaching his 30th birthday, no problem. Yeah, but we're talking about he's going to be 34. You know what I mean? So I think that would be a colossal waste of money. However, I'm only guessing what these guys are going to do. I don't know. Will they do a huge signing to appease the fans? I don't know. But, you know, it's one of them. I wouldn't if I was them, and I don't think it's realistic either.
Yeah. Again, before I go to Declan, if you're watching, if you haven't liked the video, please do so. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Daniel Crane says Lewandowski could be like the Lukaku situation all over again. That's a chance. There's no guarantee he's going to be firing on all cylinders if we sign him. Let me start with you, Tobago. You have anything to say, or should we go into the Ousmane Dembele topic?
No, I want to talk about Ousmane Dembele, but
all right, go ahead, let's talk about him. Should Chelsea be even looking to sign him, given his history, disciplinary issues? There's also the racism role, again, and also his wage. So go ahead, your thoughts.
To be honest, we are lacking creative players, and also if you saw Ousmane Dembele from January until now, he haven't been injured, and he have been producing assist left and right. It's making Aubameyang a good player due to his assist. So to be honest, after we sold Eden Hazard and Pedro, we don't have such players who like to give other players balls just to score. We have players who want to score for themselves. So we like that kind of a player. But I don't know about the others. But if Tuchel wants Dembele, I'm 100% gonna back him. I want Dembele too.
I get your point. Andrew, coming to you, should we even be looking at him? Here's a point I want to make here. This guy comes with a baggage of trouble, quite a lot of them. He has disciplinary issue. There's the racism role. There's also his wage demands. Plus, again, Chelsea have a lot of sponsors from Asian countries. And I think they'd ask questions on what are we doing here? Because Rakuten, remember, when that issue, the racism role stuff, popped up, Rakuten asked Barcelona, what are you doing about this? And that was when they started doing something, when they actually wanted to get rid of him. And there's another question I want to ask. I think I'll ask that later. That's regarding Antoine Griezmann, because people were going, whoa, we shouldn't sign Antoine Griezmann. He's racist.
Yeah.
But when you look at the video regarding the racism role, Dembele was the person that did all the talking.
Yeah.
All Griezmann did was laugh.
Yep.
So the question is, why are Chelsea fans all of a sudden comfortable with the club signing him? And what that will raise questions regarding the club's stance on racism. Yep. You know, so Andrew, I'll let you come in. You can talk about his disciplinary issues. You can talk about the racism role. You can talk about his wages. You can talk about from the perspective of the club having sponsors in Asian countries and how, whether they will ask questions or not, or the stance, club stance on racism. You go ahead.
There's too many red flags with this guy. So many red flags. You just start off with the racism row. Chelsea's history is not that of a good one when it comes to this issue. I know it's been improving over time, but I mean, I wasn't born, obviously, but the way our own fans treated Paul Cannaville, our own Chelsea player, first black Chelsea player, is disgusting. The way some of our fans, I say people, treat others, treat our own players and other black players and other players from different areas of the world. It's disgusting, and that would be the first one. That's the reason I don't want to sign him. Disciplinary issues as well. They're very high wages for someone who, let's face it, for the past 5 years has hardly played a game. Sadly played loads of games. I mean, he's missed more games than he's played for Barcelona in his nearly 5 years there. I think it'd be you're looking at it'd be a hell of a risk on and off the field, publicity wise. I'd be very uncomfortable signing him in multiple areas. He might be a good player, but for me, that doesn't outweigh everything else. Just because you're a good player doesn't mean I'm going to ignore certain other things, which is why, before anyone says anything, I have issues with John Terry for what he's done, for bringing my club bringing our club into disrepute and damaging it. So before anyone says anything, so with this guy, there's too many red flags. I'd stay clear of this guy. I really would. I don't think it would be worth it. If I'm asking you, if you're asking me, I would steer clear. I would steer clear.
Yeah, and Daniel Crane says people only want Dembele because of the player he was, not who he is now. He has so much baggage. I was born in again. I'm not sure what Tribble is also saying. Also injury prone. That's one thing. Again, surprisingly, he hasn't gotten injured for a while. Dembele joins Chelsea. I'm not even part that Chelsea fan. You're always looking for excuses to leave us. Are you one of us? Dembele is bad news indeed. Dembele is sick, not a flaw. There again, lots of stories about him. Declan, coming to you, your thoughts on this Dembele talk again?
Yeah, I'm kind of with the. He's a coin flip. You know, right now we want to. I'll take anything. I'll take it, almost anyone. Yeah, that's how bad the attack is. But he's going to come on big wages as well. There's no doubt about that. He's already on big wages. He could be a guy that, with his injury record, be out for so long, doesn't solve anything. You know, and we already got someone like Pulisic that kind of fills that role as well, who's always out with smallest injuries all the time. So, and you don't know how he's gonna, and whether he adjusts or not. You know, is he gonna come in and hit the ground running as well? So he could just stay fit and maybe not adjust as well. So there's a lot of I don't know, too many question marks for someone with who's going to come on big wages and meant to be a big player. But then in the positives, he's a great player. He's worked under Tuchel before. So they're the ones that I have some hope for if he does come. But too much of a coin, too much of a risk, like Andrew said. Not that keen, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not for it in any way, because the fact is why people are not paying attention to all the issues that he brings to the club. He was shot at the salary structure. It's something if he takes a wage cut, which I doubt he will. I don't think he would take a wage cut. I think he presents a huge risk. And his history in terms of the racism role is not something you can sweep under the rug already. I think it was DJ Saab that said on this channel that Chelsea Football Club are still paying for racial discrimination issues they've had in the past up till now. It comes up every now and then. So what happens if the club signs a player like Ousmane Dembele? Then there is a big issue for us. Nick, your thoughts on that talk?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but it seems like Tuchel really wants him. So I'm backing Tuchel. He wants to bring Dembele, take a chance. I know he gets injured a lot, but Tuchel fancies him. We have to wait and see what happens. As a player, he's a good player, yes, but I haven't really watched him like I watched Chelsea. But I know he's a good player, what I've seen. But he does get injured a lot. It's like it could be another Pulisic. So I'm 50-50 with that. I'm not really sure about Dembele. I think we should go for someone else, really. Dybala, I think that's a better option.
Again, I am not for him. The single reason is the racism role, because and his two reasons, and his wage demands, because again, more important, most especially the racism role, that will affect a whole lot of stuff. and the media will pounce when they see they are a racist club. Look what they're doing. I know he's apologized. I think it's better off going somewhere else where that wouldn't be an issue, because what Chelsea stands for, if you look at it, our history even remind himself, the club spent so much to promote anti-discrimination of all sorts from again, I don't think it would be a good idea. It will be a PR nightmare, and how do you explain that? Even if Thomas Tuchel warned him, I think the club will come in, call his attention and say, look, this is the situation here, and that's going to be a difficult thing. And after all, you must remember, Chelsea Football Club is it's a business first and foremost. Andrew, I don't know how well you know Mitrovic. Do you know him, or what do you think?
Yes,
This Phantom wouldn't let me rest because of him.
Mitrovic,
And by the way, Phantom, thank you for the donation. I appreciate that, brother. You don't really have to do that, but thank you very much.
Mitrovic, last couple of times in the Premier League, has stunk it out. He's been absolutely terrible in the Premier League for Fulham. In the Championship, he over exceeds, but in the Premier League, his last two performances, he has played worse than Timo Pukki from Norwich. Timo Pukki's outscored him the last few times they've been in the Premier League. I wouldn't take Mitrovic for the Premier League given his last few performances. Let's see if this changes this season, fine. But he is not a prolific striker in the Premier League, and he hasn't been able to keep Fulham out. In fact, the last time they were in the league, I believe they dropped him for a few games, even though they were in a relegation battle, because he couldn't score. So he doesn't have a good record in the Premier League at the moment. So.
Yeah, so Phantom, are you trying to push his agenda because he's a foreign player and you're a foreign supporter? Declan, you want to say anything about Mitrovic?
I'll take Mitrovic. I mean, yeah,
why?
he's not a
Can you
good player,
tell us why?
But no, our attack is so bad. That's why. Mitrovic isn't even good enough. But our standards for attackers at the moment have dropped a lot. I want to see some hungry, goal-hungry players. That's all I want to really see. I mean that's why I don't really want Lewandowski, because we've made this mistake so many times. We get a player that's done it all, massive name, bring him big money, and they have nothing to prove. It was one of the points I said about Lukaku. You know, in the argument of Haaland versus Lukaku, I always thought, even if Haaland was going to leave to Real Madrid, that everyone was saying, right? He still had to prove himself. If Haaland was looking for a move from Chelsea as a stepping stone, he still had to come here and tear up the EPL for that to happen. So even that drive alone, it will be great. And even if you get in the next player, he still has to do it. And Tobago just brought out here, look, I say Broja. Yeah, great. Broja's a perfect example. Might not be proven, but if we get a couple of players that are so hungry to prove themselves, one of them might actually stand out as a massive star. So I'd rather take my chances that way than get a player with a massive name and done it all to come in, and maybe if he's not feeling the pressure or wants to do the hard work, because EPL is such a way harder league than from where they came from, and they just drop their performance, because in reality EPL play more games, they don't have that winter break, and every team is a lot harder, so it's not as relaxed from the leagues they come from, so it's a bit of a step. So I just want a hungry goal-hungry player. I say hungry many times, but I must be getting hungry.
Nick, you have anything to say about Mitrovic?
Yeah, the same as Andrew, really. You know, he's not a Premiership player. He's sort of Championship. Phantom is getting all excited with Fulham, so just keep him there at Fulham. Because he ain't going to score. He might get 2 goals if you're lucky. So, yeah. I mean, they said it all. He's not worried. He's nowhere a Premiership player. We saw that last time Fulham won the Premiership. He couldn't score if you put it on a plate for him. So, yeah, fans, I'm sorry, but make us a better offer than that. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want Mitrovic. He's stunk, like Andrew said. So let's talk about this, Declan. Let's compare. Let's assume the club really wants to sign Ousmane Dembele, and Thomas Tuchel wants him. Should we even be talking about Ousmane Dembele while we have a player such as Callum Hudson-Odoi? You could say on his day, he can do all. He's a creator too, and he's a fine finisher on his day. And we must remember he's just 21. So why go for? Why even consider Ousmane Dembele? Why we still have this guy at the club?
It's just what you said. If Tuchel wants him, they're not. I'd say Dembele is levels above probably Cho at the moment. Cho still has to prove himself and stay fit for, you know, he hasn't played. He's been out for so long. So I mean, he's having so many injuries. You don't know what Cho you're gonna get next season. And to put him in the same mold, I think he's tried many things with Cho, and and the only reason Tuchel would want him is because Cho can't deliver or play the role that Tuchel needs. So there's obviously a massive difference there if Tuchel wants Dembele.
Do you have anything to say about that?
The issue with Cho is he had a massive, nearly career-ending injury with the Achilles, and now there's rumours coming out, can't be proven, obviously, there's rumours that he's having trouble with his other Achilles. That might be as well. And if that is the case, that I just don't understand why we're keeping Cho on this, because he's earning a lot of money as well. I also think I don't know if that's a slip of the tongue, coach, but he said he was a good finisher. He's got 4 goals in 4 years.
No, on his day he can finish quite well, although he's not been consistent.
I would still like to know that this season, and no one's even asked to here. Do you remember when Cho was on? He was going through like a decent run in the team. I think he started like 8 games in a row, and then he was just
on the side.
Yeah, he's just dropped. That's never been explained to anyone why that was. I think Cho's a victim of us giving him that contract, because he should have been on loan like the rest of these guys and then come back. The injuries worry me. The injuries worry me about Cho. He's been out for, how long has he been out for? Like 3 months now? He's been out for.
And there's no clarity on what's happening to him.
No clarity. Yeah, it's just rumours, and that's the problem. We need some clarity what it is, because then these rumours will stop. Is it an Achilles? Is it something else? Is it the other Achilles? Not even the one that he injured. Is it the other one? Because if it's the other one, he's not in good shape, man. He's not in good shape if he's having trouble with his other Achilles after the other one popped. So and you're right. I mean, he's not the levels of Dembele's a very good player, but he's injury prone. He chose not of the levels of Dembele from what I've seen. But there's no point of bringing in another injury prone player when we've got Cho, who picks up multiple injuries, and Pulisic, who doesn't pick up multiple injuries but has lengthy injuries and is out for what? So what is the point? What's the point of bringing someone else in for that and then pay him a lot of money to just sit on the physio table? It's just, it makes no sense whatsoever. Even if
it doesn't make sense in any way. And I think the problem here is that I think we're stuck with him. He's on 120. He's 120K plus weekly. Yeah. And he's still on contract until 2024. So we're stuck with him for a while, at least next year before. And again, who's going to pay us? Who's going to want to sign him given his situation? He hasn't recovered fully. So
no one's going to pay that. No one's going to pay 120 grand for Sarr. No one's going to pay 95 grand for Baba Rahman. No one's going to pay 96 grand for Ross Barkley. It's not going to happen. And that's the problem. I like Marina, but some of the deals she's done with these wages is very bad. And
most of these players will end up living on a free, and then they become serious L.
That's why, coach, I don't put your egos aside. Chelsea board, just accept what anyone offers you for these players to get them out. Just accept it and get them out, because we got Bakayoko coming back this summer because he was so rubbish at AC Milan. They're not going to take him on a 2nd-year loan deal. They're not going to take the option. He's coming back as well. I mean, it's just crap after crap after crap.
Yeah, I think we are in serious trouble. I'm going to quickly, Nick, you have anything to say? So I'll ask the final question, and while you guys are answering, I'll set up the giveaway too.
Yeah.
So because I promised if we had 100 people watching today, we'd do a giveaway for $50, and I think we had 100 plus people watching at the point, so I must fulfill my promise. So go ahead, Nick.
Yeah. Cho, I'm afraid, his time is up at Chelsea. He's on silly money as it is. He's been there 4 years. He hasn't showed us. He showed us the glimpses what he can do, dribble and shoot, but mostly he's missed open goals, and he can't play the position Tuchel wants him to play. So he's either send him on a loan, if you can get anyone to get him on a loan, or you have to take the losses. Like Andrew said, I will take the losses. Get whatever you can. These players have to go. It's no good get into a new era with all these players again. They have to go. Him, Loftus-Cheek, Barkley, Alonso, Aspi might go. Batshuayi, Bakayoko.
The list goes on.
Yeah, the list doesn't stop. They have to leave. They have to go. Their time's up. Give them away on a free lottery or something. That's what I would do. Just give them away, because it's going to harm Chelsea.
Yeah. Declan, let me ask you this. I know you like to see things from a business perspective. Do you think it will make more business sense to terminate their contracts? Some of them, that is, if after the summer window they didn't get a move away, just terminate their contracts and let them go?
No. It doesn't make business
He
sense.
says no. It doesn't, right?
Right. You loan them out, you get some money. You're gonna find clubs that are actually interested. It's more about the player. It's more about if the player doesn't want to go anywhere, you can't. Your hands are tied. Sometimes you can't get him to negotiate nothing. So when you sign one of these players on a big contract, big money, you got to be cautious of that. So Cho's going to slowly get back into the team. You can't do nothing more than that. You've seen all the deadwood that stay and hang on to the money because they know they're not going to get that anywhere else. And you wait till their contracts die. I mean, to terminate their contract, you're going to have to fill that void. At least we managed to get some of these deadwood all on loans, and you get something back. So in a business sense, that's way more better than terminating contracts. I mean, you only terminate contracts if there's like 6 months to go, and it works out money wise. If you're going to save money, but not now, not when they got years left. And coming this year, I think we're losing some of those deadwoods. They're all coming to an end. So that's a good sign.
I think we're in a very precarious situation. Honestly, I don't know what is the best way to deal with this deadwood situation?
Like I said, most of them, their contracts are coming to an end, and the best way to loan them out or convince them, I mean, there's actual skill, and there's actually people that are good at propping up the player for people to come buy. So that's an actual skill and tool. So if you wanted to get rid of deadwood, you got to make them look better than they are, and for clubs to have some kind of appeal.
Want to sign them?
Yeah, and then as people know, a lot of people have, relationships with clubs, and deals with agents, and they would help as well. I mean, you could do you're doing other deals, but maybe they help you out in this one, and you help them out, and there's a lot of that going on. So in terms of getting rid of deadwood, it's who you know and how you sell the player, and if you can get a loan deal for them, and that's all it is. But sometimes that's not even enough. Sometimes it's the player, and the player actually has the right to say, "I'll sit on the bench for years and do nothing and just collect money," and you can't do nothing about that.
And Declan, I know I appreciate that input. And again, I want to let people in the chat. This is how you type it. You type Thank you, Roman. Thank you, capital letter T, capital letter Y, and capital letter R. And the TC, you won the one for yesterday, so you're not allowed to participate today. It is not like this. Can you show them how you type it? Can you show them how to type it, just Viola? And then again, please type it like that. Thank you, Roman. Each word starts with capital letter. I think, declared, I think yours is a month ago, so you are allowed to participate. Even just Viola, you are allowed to participate because yours was a month ago. Steve Chelsea, you are allowed to participate. Yours was more than a month ago. So again, the question I want to ask you, Declared, is this. And if you're on the panel, if you want to participate, join the chat and add it. And wherever you're watching from, Facebook, Twitter, if you want to join the giveaway, you just join, and all you have to do is type thank you, Roman, hashtag thank you, Roman. Each word starts with a capital letter to get a chance to win $50. So, the question I want to ask you, people are saying that Todd Boehly looks like he's ambitious, but we have to state clearly, no matter how ambitious he is, he's never going to spend like Roman did because he's profit focused, of which I don't blame him. The club is a business after all. Do you think there's a chance, he does as close as, or maybe as well as Roman did?
I'm hoping close as Roman. I think it's halfway there. Roman ran us at a non-profit, so we used all our resources. I think what Todd Boehly wants to do, he's going to increase the money that comes in to the club, which is going to be a great thing. So there's more money to spend. Todd Boehly has voiced that he's a big believer of getting the big name players, big star being, I think the phrase was the big show. That's what they call the Lakers.
He used the term A-list.
Yeah, so he thinks that investing a lot more and being one of the top clubs brings in more money. But also, like you said, he will watch that money not run at a non-profit. Also, he came in for consortium that are also looking probably for some profits back as well. So it's a consortium that probably doesn't allow him to probably invest as much. But I think initially, we're going to see a lot of investments before slowing down. So that's the good part of it. But if they can bring a lot more money in and also look at profits, it would be similar to probably what Roman was spending, because we have more money to spend. So
I think
maybe you might see similarities.
Yeah, I hope we do. So, Andrew, I don't know if you're back. And again, if you want to participate in the giveaway, this is how you type it. You type thank you, Roman, the capital, the T, thank you have to start, thank has to start with a capital T, U has to start with a capital Y, Roman has to start with a capital R. Thank you, Roman, hashtag thank you, Roman. If you don't type it correctly, I don't think the system will see it. And I want to say big up to my brother, ZV Genius. If you haven't, please go check out his channel. Great content, one of the fastest growing. And we have Viola. This is just people having conversation here. This is Liam. That's correct. And again, yep. So if you watch how Liam typed it, it is everything starts with a capital letter. Make sure you do so. I don't think. I'm not sure what he's referring to. So if you want to be part of it, wherever you're watching from, just join us on YouTube and type in the chat section, type like this, something like this, like what you see on the screen. Thank you, Roman, to participate in the giveaway. You get to win $50. And again, you must have access to MoneyGram. PayPal is the best, easiest for us. PayPal or Western Union. And if you do Cash App, if you're in the United States, I don't know if it works across the two countries. Fine. So, Andrew, the question I'm asking, we're hearing that Todd Boehly seems like he's ambitious. Do you think he will do as well as Roman? But there's no chance. Let me say there's no chance him doing as well as Roman because he won't be spending recklessly. He will be looking at how to get whatever he spends back. And it's not just about him. Remember, we have to remember that all the group is a makeup of all the billionaires who's also putting so much money in the club. So it won't be that simple for him to spend that much money and not looking to get it back. So your thoughts on what we're seeing in social media, that he's ambitious, he's looking to win more trophies, but not most people, I don't think, are thinking that it's not just about him.
Well, he's going to have to do something that Roman wasn't able to do, and that's whatever they're going to do with the ground, first of all. So he's going to have to do that eventually. For him to be successful or even come close to Abramovich on the pitch, we're going to have to do a madness. We're going to have to start winning the league again, which we're going to spin along. This year is going to be the longest time we have gone without winning the league under Roman. So that's 6 years. I don't see us doing that next year, so that'll be 7 years. He's going to have to win this team's going to have to win back to back. He's going to have to win so many leagues, and it's going to have to win 3 European Cups, right, in 20 years, or however long he's here for. That's how he's going to be more successful than Roman. It's the amount of trophies we collect. Essentially, Roman's won a trophy for every year he's been in charge of us, or near enough.
Yeah.
So
even more than how long he's owned the club.
Yeah, we've never gone 2 years without winning a trophy. That's never happened. So that's what he's going to have to do. And he's going to have to combine that. And he's probably going to have to do it without doing what Roman did, and that was hire and fire so much. Because I do believe that held us back a bit as well from winning more things as well. I think that is one of the negatives of one of the very few negatives of the Roman era, was this hire and fire policy, without having it sort of destabilised things, and that's why we're having an issue now, because we've literally got a squad full of players from 5 years ago from different managers. So it'll be a different era. It'll be an era hopefully where Tuchel stays for a minimum of maybe the next 4 to 5 years. We build back up to winning leagues. We get another two or three European Cups maybe, and that's what we build. We build it back up where we are the most feared team in the country. And Europe. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Yeah. So if he's ambitious like that, which everyone says he is with the Dodgers, and I know he's not the full owner of the Dodgers, but he's been aggressive and ambitious there. But football's different than any other sport, as you know, Coach. Americans, I think Americans sometimes get confused. American fans do anyway, of like, what? So you have to pay a transfer fee for the player and then give him a contract? Instead of just giving him a contract. So let's see what he does, man. Open-minded. That's what we need to do. Open-minded.
Yeah, again, I'm going to do the draw right now. We have 13 entries. If you haven't, this is what you have to type here. You have to type "thank you, Roman," just exactly as you see it on the screen to participate. And if you're on the panel, if you want to participate, you can add your entry into the chat. What's his name again? Jump Pots Entertainment. If you haven't, please do subscribe to the channel and also like the video. We tried to reach 200 likes today, but we got to 116, and that's huge. We still have about 74 people watching. If you haven't, make sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I'd really appreciate that. And if you want to enter, that is what you type. Economics, you've entered correct. And this is Kronosdan, that is correct. Essay, that is correct. And I wish you guys all good luck. So I'm going to go back again and hit the draw. Andrew, I don't know if you want to enter.
So I'll do another time, but yeah, you go ahead.
No worries. Okay. Now let me see how many people we have here. We have 16 people, and I'm going to go ahead and do the draw. And good luck to you all. I hope. I don't know who I'm going to say. I hope the person wins.
You need some mixing music.
The winner is Liam Land. Congratulations to you, Liam. You've won $50. I hope you have. If you have PayPal, you get your price as much as today. If you use, in a few hours actually, but if you use a MoneyGram of Western Union, I will try to find time to go send it to you as soon as possible. But PayPal, it is like this, probably a few hours after some sleep, I'll send it to you. Congratulations to you. I hope you tell others about the channel. And whoever that's watching, please, whenever you can, tell others about the channel. Let's round off with this question here. Andrew, I'll start with Nick Blue Nick, the question here: if you had a chance to sign one player for Chelsea Football Club, who would that be?
One player. Messi. If not Messi, bring me Lewandowski. I'll keep saying it. Lewandowski, I know, he's older, but he's still there. He's still got it. Like I said before, I know he wants to go Barcelona. But if Chelsea really want to challenge City and Liverpool, do everything you can to get Lewandowski. That's if Lukaku goes. If Lukaku goes, then Tuchel he has a big, massive job to get him scoring 25 goals a season. If he can't do that, then he has to go. Bring me Lewandowski. Bring me Messi. Bring me Jesus.
Messi?
Yeah, Messi. Why? What's wrong with you?
Okay.
So
which one of them, Nick? We need just one. Which one? Choose one.
What you mean? Which one I want? It's
right now that we can sign right now. Yeah,
right now, this minute. Bring me Lewandowski.
All right. That's you, Andrew. How about you? And please, before I continue, if you're just joining us, we still do one more giveaway tomorrow. And the reason I'm doing it is just an appreciation. I traveled. I had a safe trip. And what I went for went well, and this is my way of appreciating your prayers and everything. So we'll do another giveaway tomorrow. If you haven't, please make sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't, so you know when we'll go online and get a chance to win something. So Andrew, you tell us what player, if you will sign any player for Chelsea Football Club right now, who would it be?
Sure. I would sign. I'd sign Heung-min Son. That's who I'd sign from Tottenham.
Please, Andrew, no Tottenham rejects.
It's not a reject. Yeah, I agree. Heung-min Son is not a reject. Nick, you've made your choice. You've made your choice, Nick. Let him talk.
But I don't want any Tottenham rubs.
Andrew, go ahead, please. Tell us why you want Heung-min Son.
He's proven. He's got nearly 20 goals this season, no penalties or free kicks. So that rubs out the purple patching everyone keeps talking about. He is world class. He's coming into this prime. I just think he is it. He's head and shoulders above any attacker that we have. Messi slowing down, and Lewandowski's is coming up to his old age. I'd take Heung-min Son. I think he's fantastic. Tottenham reject. When are we getting this one back? Jesus.
No, because he hates Tottenham. He's just making that
I know,
but he knows Son is a good player.
What would be more pleasurable than taking their best players, actually?
Yeah.
Andrew, you wind up so easily. It's funny.
I know.
So Andrew, just quickly, while I'm with you, people have been suggesting this. This coming from Kronos Dan. I don't believe that signing Martinez will help us solve the issue we're having with Lukaku. Do you think that?
No, I don't think this team. Can I just say, I don't think this team is built for an out-and-out number 9. That's why I want like an inside forward, like a Son. That's what I want. I'd want 2 of them like that. So Son and whoever else. I think it's built for a team like that. So yeah, Martinez. I don't know. I'm on the fence with Martinez. I don't know how good he actually is. Do you know what I mean? I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced by him overall. Yeah.
I know Declan will be ready to go to say something about the suggestion on the screen before he tells us the player he wants the Chelsea to sign. Declan, you go ahead. He's laughing already. And by the way, I wanted to say I love Son. I know it's never going to be possible for him to join Chelsea. He's got great industry. He's a fine finisher. He's a creator too. Whenever he's on the pitch, he gives 150%. Yeah.
You can't say you love any Tottenham player right now. if they become a Chelsea player, then you can say. Don't say to me you love Tottenham players.
Okay. Okay.
That's taking the piss.
Okay, Nick, you win.
I love
Heung-min Son. Yeah, exactly. Nick, you're hearing that. Declan, tell me what you think about this comment suggestion on the screen. Then tell us a player you would want Chelsea to sign.
Well, I must add, Son would be perfect as well, and even maybe Harry Kane and Son combination.
So what do you want Nick to do now?
But more importantly, it's I think Chris Wood from Newcastle, great at shout out.
Shut your face, Declan. Shut your face. Shut your face.
They call him the Kiwi Messi. I don't know why he doesn't. He's like the biggest guy on the pitch.
They call him the Kiwi Crouch. That's what they call him.
Let me ask you this, Declan. What do you think? What do you think of Jesus of City? If they
Jesus, I don't want him.
Like he's a goal scorer.
That's probably it's a type of attacker that we need. That can play across on front three and can convert. I mean, the name's been thrown around. Now with Nunez as well, it was some of the players. But for me, it was Luka Jovic that I wanted for a long time. Even Andre Silva, these very agile attackers, right? And Silva from I'm in Leipzig now too, but he's been ripping it up in the Bundesliga. I know that doesn't mean anything, but it's a type of attacker that we need. But I think more importantly, I want Rice. We've got to get Rice in. I think he completes.
I knew you were going to eventually come to Rice.
No chance of that.
I think when Chelsea take photos, I was like, Rice would be right here next to Mason Mount and
that won't happen, man.
And I think it's just a great person to have in the dressing
Are
room.
you
He's got a good dance.
Nick? I don't want no fucking Rice here.
Hey,
Nick, please, what's the language?
Hey, aren't you in a restaurant? People are going to think you're going crazy.
Hey, why are you getting wound up, Nick?
We don't want Uncle Ben's Rice. Listen to the Chelsea fans.
Hey, aren't you in the public, Nick?
Chelsea.
Hey, Nick, I thought I saw you sitting in a restaurant. People are going to think this guy's having a go at the waiter. I don't want Rice.
Oh, my goodness. Nick doesn't like Rice. So Declan, for you, it is Rice.
I've been stirring the whole time.
You knew what you were doing, right?
Can I just say, I think...
go ahead. I think Nick knows. Nick knows you're winding him. Go.
I want to say, I think next season will still be proof because he's brand new, but if he continues to do what he's doing, people are going to regret not buying Bruno Guimaraes from Newcastle because he looks like a baller.
Do you think Newcastle will be willing to sell him? He's been one of your best players.
No chance now.
What I'm saying, people, I would love him, but I think people are going to regret not buying him and allowing Newcastle to swoop in and buy him because he looks absolutely sensational. That's why I'm not going to go overboard. I'm going to wait till next season because that's when it probably counts because he's going to get a full season. But if he continues what he's doing, I mean, he's probably, what would they buy him for, like 35 million or something like that? He's probably doubled his transfer fee already in his few games, but
man, and Newcastle are a rich club now, so they won't even be selling.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Hang on, coach. Why wasn't our scouting team watching him? Why weren't they doing that? Because we could afford him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wasn't Arsenal
we miss quite a lot.
That's a massive regret for them. I heard they were
pay for Saul. Let's be cheap and pay for Saul.
Even
though he's 200 grand a week.
Yeah. Vlahovic was available, and we went for Lukaku. So, Declan, for you, is it really Rice, or you have any other choice?
No. If Rice comes in, I'll be happy. If Tchouameni comes in, I'll be happy. I think they're two top midfielders, and they probably can do different things.
If Chris Wood comes in, I'm going to Fulham.
I mean, compared to Lukaku, I think Chris Wood will be right.
Yeah, for me, if there's any player I would want to sign, I think it will be in Ndidi. The numbers don't lie. He's proven in the Premier League that he can do that job that N'Golo Kante did for us. And again, he's taller, he's better aerially.
Coach, let me. If there's anyone to replace N'Golo Kante, it's Ndidi. You just said it. You hit the nail on the spot. It's Ndidi.
I feel like Rice can do it too, Nick.
Huh? Who?
I think Ndidi has better numbers in terms of ball
Rice
winning.
is a lamppost, a dead lamppost. That's what Rice is.
What?
We don't need any Uncle Ben's Rice. I keep telling you. Don't get it into your head we're getting Rice, because we're not.
Nick, why are you getting triggered, Nick? Why are you getting triggered?
Andrew, you know my point. You know, Kai has the same opinion. Marshall the same. We know, we understand football. That's why. How can you have Rice and
Why
the
are you getting wound up, man?
Because I don't want daddy long legs in the club. He's not John Terry.
Those long legs are very effective.
No, he's not. Only going to piss around with Mount. That's what he's going to do. Oh.
That's what I want to see. I want to follow their social media and watch all these photos together and
I can't wait till he gets Mount.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, Declan.
Wait a minute.
I do have a player. Hold on, I have a player you can bag me about.
Bad enough, Mount can't take a penalty. Imagine when Rice comes.
Hey now. Well, Rice can take penalties, so you're right. You're covered there. Look, I'm going to stick to the Luka Jovic. He's still on Real Madrid's bench. He went through an injury.
No one's mentioned.
He's still on there. He's still on their bench.
Yeah, no one has mentioned Ericsson from Brentford. Well, you know.
I don't think his heart's in it, so I'm not going to.
Oh, that is.
Declan,
that is a terrible one.
I think he's good. I think the guy is good.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Luka Jovic is a good option, and he will come on the chip since we like cheap stuff, and he's a fine player.
I think he'd be a good squad option, Ericsson.
Luka Jovic.
Be a good squad option. So.
Look, for me, Luka Jovic is still 24, and
Is he?
So I wanted him for a couple of years when he was 22 and balling, but he can do everything, and the way he moves, he's going to be so cheap and probably a great risk to take, because the only problem is he hasn't been playing. He had a bad loan. I can't remember. He broke the COVID laws and went back to Serbia, and that's what got him in bad books of Real Madrid. And I think he didn't want to go nowhere. So I think they're keen to get rid of him, Real Madrid, especially with Mbappe coming in as well.
Yeah, Boogeyman is stuck into you. Look at the screen.
Let's play the Macau role. Give him that. He doesn't have to really move much. Just be a presence.
Yeah, at least he'd be pushing people down. So, Declan, any final thoughts
I think you could do a Joe Linton role.
I think, I haven't made my choice. I was going to say St. Maximin first to hear what people will say, but I don't want him at Chelsea. That's by the way. Declan, your final thoughts on everything we talked about today.
It's been good fun. That's really it. And I'm actually liking everyone getting more happy about the off season, because the season has been really ups and down, and more down, I guess. It's been chaotic. I wrote off the season a while ago. I just want to see this off season, which is going to be chaotic. I mean, a good chaotic. We're going to be linked with everyone and everyone. I mean, anyone and everyone that's available and looks remotely might leave. And we're going to bring so many new faces in. It's going to be, it gets exciting at the possibilities when all these new players come in. And I look forward to the first pre-season games and see some of these new players. So the transfer talk is going to be a good change from the games that we've been watching of late.
Yeah, we'll continue with transfer talks until preseason starts, probably well into preseason and the start of the season. I think we have a lot of stuff to talk about. And thank you, Declan. I wish you'd have time to always join us here. It's always fun when you're here. And I like to see you fight with Nick. I hope Nick enjoys the fight too. Andrew, comment to your final thoughts on everything we've talked about today.
Yeah, some good stuff. Hopefully they might announce the takeover actually on Sunday. That'd be a good way to end the season in the takeover. But after what we just discussed about the transfers, I would actually like Rice, so that we can experience first-time human combustion from Nick Blue on one of these streams. So that's what I would like to do. So if that is the thing, that's a sacrifice I made to pay for Rice. I'd actually do like Rice as a player, but paying for him is a bit much. But to actually watch Nick Blue combust, then I would like to see that. Yeah, so that'd be quite good. But
I do like Rice. The issue I have is that he's overpriced, and plus I don't think Chelsea is the best option for him.
Yeah.
I think that Manchester United is the best option for him. As given what we have right now, except if Kante leaves, then Chelsea will be the best option for him. Nick, coming to you, and I hope you've come to times that we may well sign Rice. I hope you accept that and live with it. Nick, your final thoughts on everything we talked about today, brother. Nick, are you still there? I think he has to unmute himself for us.
Been taken out the cafes in.
Okay, let me read the comments in the top.
I'm here, yes.
All right, go ahead, Nick.
Was that about Tammy Abraham?
No, and we're not going to even talk about Tammy today. We're talking about, I was telling you, I hope you've come to terms that we may eventually sign a Rice, and you have to learn to deal with it.
No,
but your final thoughts, overall, your final thoughts on everything we've talked about today.
Thoughts is the Rice is not going to happen. It's too expensive. You all know that. And, they won't go for him. We're going to go for sure, man. That's how we get him. He's a better player anyway. As we said it, whatever he decides, I hope the class of Justiola mentioned it before, that Roman had a clause for Todd Boehly to give Aspie, another year if he wants to stay, to extend the contract. That was Roman's wishes. So let's see what he does. But, we have to change a lot. We have to get rid of all these players, first of all. Tonight we played Leicester. We didn't mention Leicester. We have to win this game. Make sure we finish third. Even if we get 1 point, we finish third, but I want us to go and win. Just to show what we're capable of and get revenge on Leicester for that, what they were doing with our flag and everything. That was disgusting, you see. You know that. So we have to beat them badly. And I hope Lukaku plays and gets a couple of goals. That's all.
Yeah, I hope if he scores, I would take it. I hope that happens again. We had that argument whether these 2 games would be enough to assess his improvement and see if we'll keep him next season. But that's by the way. Again, I want to say thank you to everybody on the panel again, to see their Twitter handles. Please make sure to follow them. I would try to remember to add their information in the description section so that whoever wants to reach them can. I want to thank my brother, Declared. I know you're a very busy man, and I appreciate it whenever you're on the panel. Andrew, the same thing. Thank you very much for also sharing the tweet and getting more people to join. Thank you, Nick. Always fun to have you guys on the panel. We argue in a very civilized way. We learn from each other because none of us is perfect. I want to say big up to Boogeyman. Nice to see you here, brother. They say lateness is greatness. Thank you to Pac-Man SA for the great input. Thank you for Liam. Liam became a mod today. He deserves it. And he's been great. Everybody else in the panel, Just Viola, Queen of the House, Steve Chelsea, Just Viola here, Queen of the House. Thank you for staying throughout for 3 hours plus. And thank you for Economics for joining us today. Thank you for True Blue for all the great inputs. And everybody else, if I forget your name, I'm only human. Please forgive me. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow. And don't forget, we will do another giveaway tomorrow. I'll do it for a few days. I have something budgeted for it, just to appreciate your prayers and support while I was away. With that, I say thank you, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow for another Blue Morning Show. God bless us all, and hopefully we get a win today. I hope to see you guys, in the pregame show, because we have a pregame show that starts 1 hour before the game, where we analyze the lineup that Thomas Tuchel has picked and see if he's made the right decisions, and we analyze the opposition team also. Join us in the pregame show, and believe me, you will enjoy it as much as you've enjoyed the Blue Morning Show. And again, I cannot thank you guys enough for the great support. I thank you for 100 plus 120 likes. That's huge. Again, I'll see you guys during the pregame show. God bless us all, and bye.